Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Reaping of Goldenfields. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm Chris, I'm your Dungeon Master, and today we are playing episode 5.
Sorry.
Ed, that's 10.
I know. I realised as I put both hands up, but it didn't work. Anyway.
Well, there you go. Anyway, we're playing the Dungeons and the Dragons, as per usual, and with your streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. Everyone here plays fantasy characters in a shared fantasy universe, and all of them have character sheets. They can do amazing things. They will add numbers. They will have actions, things they can do. But all the character sheets on the left-hand side of the screen if you want to know. But generally speaking, we'll talk you through it. It's D&D. I play everything else, including all of the horrors they are currently facing. Sometimes a DM makes choices.
Quiet evening. It was very pleasant. There was a bird. It was nice.
The bird was lovely.
Yeah, that little section.
I don't remember the bird. I just remember the emotional trauma.
Look, I wasn't party to any of your nonsense.
You
My
just spoke to the barrel tree.
was perfectly pleasant. I met a tree who has dementia, and then I went and sat outside with a bird.
I'm really sorry. That wasn't meant to come across as anything like that. That was meant to come across as a bit more, strange. But anyway, that's... Hello, Bean. Do you want something? Anyway, while I try and calm the dog down, let's meet all of the other players. Let's start with Ed.
Hello, I'm Ed. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Viorica Eordash, who also uses he, him pronouns. And yeah, Viorica, I think, is getting himself back. Which feels, there we go. Which feels very positive. But I don't know, there might be some further bite backs, we'll see. But yes, last time was good.
Thank you, Ed. Emma?
Hi, I'm Emma. I use Pronouns M, and then play Prosper uses Pronouns B. Last time, Prosper's had a very sweet conversation with a tree, which reminded me very much of conversations with my grandparents. And I'm very distracted now by my dog. And then went outside and said goodbye to his partner Edie, who died prior to the very first campaign Prosperous was in. But it felt like the right moment to properly say goodbye to Edie. And had a nice time sitting by a lake, having a chilled out evening while chaos happened inside. So I think I made the right choice all round. And I have had a very relaxed evening, and I think I'm still outside. To be honest, probably just slept outside where it is calm.
You wear metal armor. If you want to wear rusty armor, that's your call.
It's mithril.
Good point. Right, Evie.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Ephemera, who also uses she, her pronouns. And has the dog seen something?
Yeah.
As I spoke, just... Yes, and Ephemera is on shaky ground at the moment, having just had a revelation of how she died, and who may or may not have been there, and may or may not have let events snowball into what we're currently doing, and now has a shiny sheriff's badge. Go for it.
Yes.
Mike, anything you wish to add?
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm playing Ferrari Brooke, I guess ex-sheriff. We both use he, him pronouns. Yeah, he's... I feel like he's just processing. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Lots of guilt, a lot of feelings that have just come back that weren't a thing at all before, and now suddenly are a thing. And yes, and I imagine that's very overwhelming. So it can be interesting trying not to be an edgelord, but also being an edgelord at the same time.
Join the rest of the party. Apart from Prosperous, who's not
Welcome to our world.
I shall remain pure of heart.
There we go. And finally, Rebecca.
Hi, I am Rebecca. Use she, her pronouns. I am playing Ava, my first real edgelord, who also uses she, her pronouns. Ava got beheaded. That was probably the big thing that happened. And then she wandered around for a bit, holding her head. And then she fell out with her friend when she tried to suggest maybe don't be completely evil. And then she tried to make a new friend, and that really backfired. And then maybe she's evil now.
Oh,
TBD. We'll find out. She might be evil. I don't know.
You know, I spent
Real
so
well.
long not being a teenager that I just find this ick. Good. Okay. The party are emoting. That's what's happening. Anyway, while the party do all their emotions and stuff, we're going to be running the stream. So the stream runs for 3 hours or so, and there'll be a roughly 5-10 minute break somewhere near the middle. As we are improving, we don't know where that's going to be, but we'll make sure we flag it. There'll also be
It's very much like, you're welcome to have emotions. The stream is just going to happen anyway. You're just over there with your emotions.
Connected.
basically
the party will
what
have
happens.
emotions.
I mean, doesn't matter what happens, the internet stays there. Good. Anyway, while all that is happening, we are delighted to have some lovely sponsors and supporters. First off, we're sponsored by the lovely Hero Forge. Hero Forge offer fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy races and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see our minis on screen. We use digital versions of all the minis and put them on digital tabletops and then play around with them on screen, which is what you can see happening live. They also they will make those minis for you out of resin and print them, and then in color they can print them as well and we'll deliver them to you, which is truly amazing. So yes, if you fancy a new mini, head to Hero Forge. Currently they're doing their December advent calendar, so there will be all sorts of lovely new things available on their character maker. Yeah, so do check.
It was machete knuckle things. It's really cool.
Right?
yes. That sounds awesome.
A machete with a knuckle. It's a machete with a knuckle guard. I mean,
It was knuckle dust. It was machete knuckle dusters. It was really cool.
they also just Shuckle dusters. They also just added a keytar. I'm just saying, your character dreams are being realized every day.
Yes.
Anyway, check them out at heroforge.com. They're splendid. We're also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. Get your tabletop organized with character folios and dice bags. They provide all sorts of stuff for your tabletop. I usually show a figurine of adorable power, and I'm going to again. Today's one will be a lovely owl bear, because I have nothing thematic for this campaign to show you. So
I only have this one.
Ed has a bulette, which is also very nice, yes. You can get yourself a figurine of adorable power, or frankly anything else from their D&D range, or anything else from any of their ranges, by joining us in chat today, where you'll be in with a chance to win a gift card. So join us in chat and just say something nice, ideally, but it doesn't have to be. Let me tell you what to do. Good, right. We're also sponsored by the lovely Elderwood Academy. They provide, hang on, I'm going to read this sentence out verbatim. They are the premium purveyors of bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook dex box/rolling trays disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice towers and rolling tray pairings.
What's a box, Chris?
Box? Did I say it wrong?
Yeah. He said book. He said books.
Books?
It's one of these.
Yes, that's a books.
Oh,
There's a books.
I have this. I'm just going to grab it now.
Evie's got a books too.
He's got a
No,
rolling
I've
tray.
got the thing that
Evie's got a hex
sent
chest.
that doesn't come out of its bag easily,
name.
which is why I don't use it.
Hex chest. It's a
And
hex
then
chest.
It's a rolling tray.
Oh, it's a rolling
rolling
tray.
tray,
Yeah, lovely. You got a rolling tray. I've got a Codex Dice Tower, which I show all the time, so I'm not going to show it today. That's
fine.
But yes, if you fancy making yourself something nice, they also have an online creator for your beautiful rolling tray, dice tower, dice box, whatever you need. Go to go to Elderwood, buy your thing, make your thing, and then at checkout, pop in roll together. That's roll-together to get a 10% discount. So that's our lovely sponsors. Now on to our supporters. We're supported by D&D Beyond. You can see our character sheets on the left-hand side of the screen, and they help us with all their digital D&D tools, which frankly I struggle to DM without, as I found out last time we did this show, and the encounter tracker wasn't working for me, which was entirely my fault, as I found out later. So there you go. That's just the way it goes. And I tell you, going back into a level 12 combat without the encounter tracker made me just go, oh god, what have I... Oh, need it back. I fixed it, it's fine.
That's why we won so easily, and it was such a simple combat, right?
I cut your head off. Cool.
I literally can't imagine
You're in the
DMing
club
without
with
the
me
encounter
now.
tracker.
Yes.
We're also supported by Level Up Dice, table shakers. They are big, chunky metal dice. I've got a D10 here for various reasons. Yes, if you fancy buying yourself a nice metal dice, nice big chunky metal dice, head to, there'll be a link in chat right now to buy yourself some. We're also supported by two lovely... What?
Did your proficiency bonus go up?
Yes.
Yeah, level 13, it goes up. Oh, the party have all leveled up. I was going to get there later, but Em just realised that your to hit is now ridiculous, right?
My persuasion roll is plus 15.
There you go.
Me too.
My to hit is plus 17. That's ridiculous.
No, wow. That's insane.
How is it plus 17?
When I've got my Child Divinity up.
Oh, never mind. That makes sense. Okay, good. We're also supported by two lovely D&D video games, our Champions of the Forgotten Realms and Warriors of Waterdeep. Both let you play for free. That you can download them. There are links in chat. And you can also then use various codes to get various links or codes you can put into the game. It's all in chat right now. The mods will explain. But yes, if you like playing D&D and fancy playing it a bit more, you can always join in with the other Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep fandoms. They are both spectacular and fantastic. Right. Practicals for us. We're Roll Together RPG on all socials. We're on... I'm trying to do this while Em's making faces. It's really distracting. Anyway, so we've got... yes. Oh, completely lost my train of thought. There it is.
I'm really sorry. I got very excited.
So we're Roll Together RPG on all of the internet. So social media websites, if you fancy joining us there. Patreon, if you want to support us, and our D20 Club is there, and our wonderful podcasting as well. Basically put, if you want to follow us and find us everywhere, we're Roll Together RPG. And there should be some links in chat as well for you. And if you join a D20 Club, you may also be able to see a link to our Wikipedia. Well, not Wikipedia. It's a wiki. It's a fan wiki that's been made for us by our D20 Club, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's
really, really good.
People keep adding stuff. Some players have taken to adding their very long backstories, which is really great. Just you look at the page and go, here is the backstory that I wrote that no one's ever going to know, but now the internet knows. Which is great.
It's all there.
It's really cute. I love it very much. Yeah, makes me very happy. Anyway, before we kick off, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players, characters, DMs, everyone else behind the scenes as well in our stories. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own, and while we aim to avoid misgendering, we acknowledge it does sometimes happen, have a company policy in place for correction, should the need arise. We use a number of safety tools as part of play. You probably won't see them actively because we pre-record, but if you want to know more about safety tools in D&D, there's a link in chat right now to the TTRPG Safety Toolkit, which is what we use and can thoroughly recommend. There's also a link to content warnings if you put _safety into chat as well. This is a folk horror game. There are some horror elements and moments that get quite grim. As mentioned, there was a beheading. So, if you want to avoid that sort of thing, check the content warnings and make sure we're not doing anything that you don't want to see. Cool. Right. Episode 5, we're near the end, folks. And welcome back, everyone. So, last time on the Reaping of Goldenfields, the party defeated Torburn, the reanimated headless horseman, known as a Dullahan in D&D for some reason. I think that's the ancient Irish term. I'm not sure. No, I don't know. Anyway, yes, you defeated him. You seem to become more and more human as you defeated him, because I'm cruel. And yes, in doing so, maybe there was some catharsis there for Prosperous, but we'll later Prosperous then said goodbye to their partner of a long time ago, which they were still wearing the gauntlets of, so maybe they were connected, I don't know. Lovely. Anyway, the rest of the party then decided to head to the Golden Gulp Brewery, where you were told to speak to the barrel tree, deciding that the civilians you'd left running down a road in the middle of the night were probably fine. I gave you strong indication that they were fine. I don't want to make that too harsh. You made your way to the brewery, but beforehand, you had started to suss out some details about a mysterious subplot we've been building to for the entire series. A lot of D100s were rolled to see if something would happen, and a lot of very close to 100s or 100s were rolled. So we just dropped all of that. We discovered that Frory and Ephemera know each other. Ephemera can't remember because Ephemera died and lost all of her memories when she died, and Frory chose to have his memories wiped by a potion because he couldn't handle the failure of having let Ephemera, or Jessie as she was known at the time, die. That led into further conversations about guilt, about what Frory needs to do, and also him giving up to Ephemera his sheriff's badge, which is a strong moment for all of us, I think. Ava, you then went and talked to your patron again, who is still awful.
Great, lovely.
Yeah, still
Cuddly.
cuddly even. And yes, and Viorica woke up in the early hours of the morning, found the high tower that wasn't placed there for this moment's draw or anything like that, and
Folly, you mean?
the folly that was placed there, and came to terms with Lathander, the old god he used to worship from the before times, BE, before Edgelord, and
Yes.
yeah, had a moment of catharsis and reconciliation with a god, and maybe some of the old Viorica will start to shine through again, which would be nice, frankly. So.
Agreed.
Yes. Where we left it, you were all leveling up as well. Yes, did I forget something?
I spoke to the barrel tree as well.
Of course, spoke to
yes.
the barrel tree. Obviously, the plot.
I want you all to know that I took notes.
Oh, I
I
can't
took
wait.
I took notes of the notes that Prosperous took that I will relay to you when we get to that moment.
I can't wait.
Can we all just take a moment as that Emma took notes? Like, this is Prosperous took notes, but also Emma took notes. That's
Well, my memory's not very good.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
yes, but despite that, you never take notes. So anyway, be that as it may. What I want to pick up on, because you all leveled up to level 13 while you were long resting at the brewery. We've already touched on some things that happened as part of that, and some of them I'm not going to reveal because some of them will come up as part of play. I think the two that I do want to spend a bit of time on are Ephemera and Frory. Ephemera, as you don't sleep, but you do rest during the rest of the night. What are you doing while resting?
I am just kind of humming to myself in a little corner, like some little nursery rhymes that Ava taught me.
Were you going for creepy? Because you nailed it.
That was sweet.
I'm so
That was
proud.
sweet. I'll take creepy.
Just a dark room. La 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 la.
That's
The
what
corpse
everyone
girl
wants.
sings in the corner.
Amazing.
Is anything running through your mind in particular at this point?
It's probably the memories that I've had, but kind of trying to reconcile that with who I am and what it means.
Mhm.
And then also wondering if Ava hates me now because she didn't seem best pleased with how I handled the situation.
Okay. Do you feel like the memories that you've been given quite suddenly are going to be something that you will take in, make part of you, or something you're going to reject?
Don't think I've landed on either side yet because I haven't got the full story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you're thinking through all of this, there is a momentary realization that you now have that you may not have had until this point. You're dead. Like, not just, oh, I'm dead, I've been dead for a while, that's just who I am. No, you remember being alive. Looking at your hands, you remember when there was blood beating through your veins. You remember when you needed to breathe. And there are a couple of moments where you just have these almost startling, like, oh, I used to blink. I used to taste things. I used to feel touch more than just a sort of slightly dull thud against the side of my skin. And you think about the abilities that you have, your druidic powers that are very much tied to death and decay. And as far as you know, you picked up from this dying. And now you have absolute knowledge. You didn't have any abilities before you woke up. You woke up with abilities. Roll me an...
E100, go on.
No, it's an intelligence-based check. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Religion check.
Legend. Okay. So that is 22.
You've not been alive for that long, as in you've not been undead for that long.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, maybe. You awoke quite seriously powerful. Where did it come from? Do you want to try and take a look?
Yes. Clearly. I mean,
That would be a good idea.
Reaching inside, thinking, what is this? Where does it come from? You find a part of your mind where if you sort of, again, metaphysically, reach out and touch it, you almost recoil at the sharp edges of it. Something dark, something angry. What would you like to do?
does it feel like it's part of me or it's an alien thing?
With a 22, it's alien.
Huh.
It's not an actual thing, but it is a
Force from outside.
force from outside.
Okay. I'm going on the mental assault.
Yes.
Okay. Can you make me an attack roll with your spell attack modifier, please? You're not casting a spell. It's just to see how you're...
Having a fight inside your own head. That's amazing.
Sure. Just trying to find what my... Ah, there it is. Okay, so that was a nat 20 for a plus 10. So 30.
That'll do. Surely.
What do you want to do to it? You can do anything. You rolled a nat 20.
I don't even know what it is.
No, you don't.
I'm just going to give it a very threatening squeeze.
Until it pops.
I don't know.
Do you want to... Okay, language around this is going to get complicated, but I'm going to try. Do you want to dominate it, as in make it yours, like this is mine now, sod off? Do you want to remove it? Do you want to eat it? Do you want to throw it away? Like, you rolled a nat 20. I don't want to take that away from you. I think whatever is in your mind right now, whatever metaphysically you've reached out and touched, you have complete control over what happens to it.
Awesome.
I would like to make it part of the mycelium network of my mind.
That's awesome.
Okay. As you reach out into yourself, and this thing, as you reach towards it, it feels powerful, it feels angry, but you don't care. Your mushrooms, again, you're visualizing somewhat, but your spores, your mushrooms grow over it and just... There's a slight sort of shriek in your mind's eye. And it's gone.
Huh.
Part of you now. Evie, that thing that we talked about, you now have.
Excellent. I feel like by absorbing it, I now have no clues as to where it came from.
Not really. I mean, with a nat 20, I will say you got a certain sort of flavour of it as you ate it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It was extra planar.
Hmm.
Probably fiendish.
Don't tell
Maybe.
Viorica.
Fiendish
Maybe,
flavour.
maybe abyssal, maybe?
Maybe.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the cult that sacrificed me.
Who can say? Yeah, before they were dealing with Orcus, they were having deals with Cthulhu, and that's why I was...
Cthulhu.
No, it's not Cthulhu. It's not Cthulhu at all. They're all connected. Everything's connected, goddammit. Good, right.
When do we get the cupcakes?
Cool. Yes. Ephemera, you complete your rest. Mike, what's Frory doing after the event?
Well, we had drinking, stress smoking.
Yes, we did.
Then, I think if there's like because there was sort of like a seating area that we'd been speaking in before. If that sort of stayed quiet, he'll just stay down there and probably snooze on the sofa, in and out, in between
People will...
Stopping away.
Yeah, people will stay up a bit longer than you might expect, mostly because they don't really know what to do. Some of them will go and find cots to sleep on, others will just stay up, start drinking, and keep drinking because it's the end of the world. I mean, they don't really know what's going on, and frankly, none of you have really reinforced the idea that things might be okay. So that has spread, and people are doing all the things that you might expect when it's like, we're probably not going to survive this. In the midst of all of that, Foray, how are you feeling?
He's bouncing between Frory a couple of hours ago and new Frory, so he kind of goes to that point of like, no, I'm capable, I can do this, to, oh God, what did I do? I'm such a good boy. And it's like literally hot and cold, sort of this back and forth mentality between the two. It's almost like he forgets, because he literally forgot what he did, and then immediately when he has the sensation of relief of forgetting, it immediately rushes back. So he's just almost re-experiencing it over and over, just sort of head in hands, just sort of leaning back on a sofa or chair, just like rubbing his temples.
You know that feat we talked about? You now have it.
That's going to be interesting.
It is. First thing in the morning, Viorka's already up on the tower having his moment. Prosperous, you get shook awake.
Probably wake up quite early anyway.
But you do get shook awake.
Shaken, surely.
Shaken awake, whatever.
What by?
I
think if something shakes me awake, I'm like bolt to my feet immediately because we're in the middle of a crisis.
Yeah. As you leap up, Cumbernauld is there, kneeling next to you. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
I thought you might be, the undead, or someone telling me that I need to go kill. Do you need me to go kill some undead? I can.
Honestly, I don't know what you do, and I'm all right not knowing what you do. You've got a visitor, and the look is very much a no idea. Like, I don't know what to make of this face.
Nice.
What do you mean I've got a visitor? We're in the middle of a Are you playing a joke?
No.
This is not the time for a joke.
No, you've got a visitor. They're, nods their head towards the waterfront. At the waterfront, standing next to the dock, drinking some of the water, is, at first glance, a horse. But this horse...
Is it Harry?
It's not Harry.
You've brought Harry back.
I've not brought Harry back. Harry is
I feel
dead.
like you didn't include in your recap that I rolled a 1 and Harry died.
Yeah,
Oh.
Harry the horse is long dead. No, there's at first glance a pure white horse, but golden horse, but
with sort of like rainbow glinting on the
wings,
hair,
wings, hair, and a
wings.
horn.
Wait, wings. And
Wings
a horn?
and a
Why has it
horn.
got... Okay, Pegasuses do not have horns.
Alicorns do.
Oh.
I know, but we're not in My Little Pony, so...
Alicorns are, well, they're not real things, but alicorns are things. That's another
Like all the
thing.
things.
As you stand, it will sort of look around, see that you're up, and just nod and start walking over towards you. It's kind of sort of gentle, like... do.
Perfectly normal.
That's a horse.
I mean, it's more than just a horse. I'll leave you to it, shall I? And Cumbernault's just going to walk off with a kind of, I don't know what to make of this entire situation.
How did you know it was for me? It's a horse with wings.
Oh, because I can talk. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're a talking horse.
I'm a talking horse.
You're a talking horse.
Well, technically I'm an alicorn, but,
Please
Hello.
don't just be Swiftwind.
You're talking.
No, it's not Swiftwind.
Okay.
Hello.
It's a talking. It is a talking.
Hi.
I'm used to the talking. It's usually telepathic.
No, I can talk properly too if you need, or it can be in your head, and you get telepathically. Would you rather it was in your head?
I don't know. Hello, I'm prosperous.
I know. That's why I'm here.
That's only slightly concerning.
No, I'm a. Oh, I did it wrong. I'm sorry. She gets really annoyed when I don't do it properly. Hang on. Wiggles the bum around a bit. Rears up. I come as a messenger. I can't do it. Again. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. It's so dumb. Chauntea sent me. Hey, I'm an emissary.
What's an emissary?
Oh, it's someone sent to. It's someone sent to give someone a message. But also, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, are you actually Orcus though?
No. I don't think so.
Prove it. Can I roll an insight check?
Sure.
Rolled a 14.
Doesn't look like Orcus. Doesn't sound like Orcus. Doesn't behave like Orcus.
Say something that only Chauntea would have told you to tell me.
Oh, she said she's really sorry that you couldn't get through, but she's really glad that you're still doing the things with the seeds.
Orcus would have known that, though.
Would he?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I can guarantee you I am the genuine article. Hello.
Hi. Okay.
Anyway, the message.
What now?
I gotta give you the message. I should give you the message. That's kind of...
Oh, there's an actual message. It
there
wasn't
is,
just
yeah.
that she's, happy that I'm still here.
Oh, but she is. Hang on, let me give you the message. She's really happy that you're okay, and she's really sorry that this has happened. She doesn't quite know how it's happened, and she'd love it to stop, and she's really glad you're helping it stop, which is good. She did say, don't try and contact me, you'll just get Orcus, and you don't want that.
I know that already.
Well, okay, I'm just trying to help. Okay. She also
Why
said...
does Chauntea sound like me when I'm giving HR advice?
I don't know. Does she? I'm sorry. I'm just a messenger. I don't know.
Shoot the messenger.
Literally, don't shoot the messenger. But yeah. And she wants you to know that you're supported and that you're. She's doing what she can, but she can't do much in Goldenfields right now, which is why I'm here. I'm also here to help. Do you need a noble steed?
I mean, Harry died, so...
Oh no, who's Harry?
Harry was my horse.
Oh no, that's a shame. But he's a horse that you summoned with a spell, so he didn't die. He's in the Feywild somewhere.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
But if I take you as a steed, then I technically have to release him, so then he is sort of dead to me. Becomes a bit awkward.
Do you need a moment?
No, it's fine. He didn't like me that much anyway.
Oh no. Do your steeds tend to not like you?
No, Eloise liked me a lot.
Okay.
Harry just died a lot.
Oh. Am I going to die a lot?
No.
Okay.
This is going very well.
You seem nice. Hey, put it this way. You're a holy warrior of Chauntea. I work for Chauntea, and you seem great.
Okay, we say the holy warrior of Chauntea thing very infrequently and very quietly.
Why?
Because people get upset about it, and it stresses people out.
Oh, okay.
And
okay. Then I won't say it that often.
Or at all.
Or at all. Okay.
No, we'll just be prosperous and... What do you like to be called?
I mean, I have a celestial name. Do you speak celestial?
Go on.
Yeah?
No.
Somebody does.
I do as well.
I can do common, dwarvish, giant, or orcish.
I don't have a name in those languages, and my name in celestial doesn't really work in common. It just sounds like a high-pitched scream.
I mean, I could do that if you
No. Part of the bonding exercise should really be that you give me a name. I think that's fine.
Right. You're not a Pegasus. I was kind of gearing up for a Pegasus, and you're an alicorn.
Yeah.
So...
What were you going to call the Pegasus?
Percy.
I could
Oi.
I could be Percy the Alicorn. What's wrong with that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work
Does it not work? Why doesn't it work?
because it has to. It's not. You see, Harry the horse, Eloise the elk.
Oh, I see. Ali the Alicorn?
No, surely not.
Alfred the Alicorn?
You could be Andrew, but it's very traditional.
Ambrose.
What pronouns do you use?
Oh, any you like. I don't mind. Andrew. It's a very nice name for someone. I don't know. I like it. It feels very down to earth, you know?
Andrew the Alicorn.
Probably short it to Andy, but you know.
Andy the Alicorn. It doesn't. I'm going to have to think about it.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I'll just respond to whatever you say.
Right. And you're just going to stand here.
I work for you.
Right.
I'm kind of like Harry or Eloise, just I can talk.
Right.
It's good. You know, Knights of Chauntea reach a certain point in their careers where Chauntea's like, you need to show off. And I'm there for that. I'm that. Look at me. I'm a parade horse.
Less of the Knights of Chauntea.
Oh. What do you call them? Shepherds? This universe is shepherds, right?
Yeah, or just, I'm prosperous. I'm here to help.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's really nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And I'm Andy, also here to help.
I do quite like it, actually.
Okay.
Maybe with an I. Andy with an I.
I mean, who's going to write it down?
The historian.
People on our wiki.
Okay, well, what's the plan, boss? Is that good, boss? Calling you boss?
I'm gonna. Do you have a saddle? Are you currently wearing a saddle? Do you have armor?
I can. Hang on, one sec. Well, the horse can't click its fingers, but you know what I mean. And
Ting. Yes.
wearing full warhorse barding. No, I'm a warhorse.
We're just gonna go for a quick fly.
Sure.
Then we're gonna come back.
Okay.
Because I know some very important information I haven't relayed to anyone. So as long as we don't die while we're riding, very briefly for the next 5 minutes, it will be fine.
Great. Sounds good to me. By the way, this whole area, it's all like fiends and undead, right?
Yeah.
Grim. Okay, let's do this.
We're not going to encounter any of them or fight any of them. We're going for a very gentle, careful fly where we will not encounter anything, and then we're coming straight back.
Okay.
You're not going to do anything reckless, are you?
No, I do what you tell me to do. I mean, I have opinions, but I'm not going to voice them if you don't want them.
Can I insight check that?
No.
Do a flip.
Do a barrel roll.
15.
Andy seems to be very eager to please, but not in an overzealous way. So, Andy, you have an Alicorn stat block, which I've just sent to you. You control that, and Andy will do what you tell Andy to do.
All right, we're going for a fly.
Sure.
Right.
You do. Where do you want to go?
Despite my best intentions, I would like to go and see if I can scout out where the well is, because if I'm flying, definitely not going to fall into it.
Nice.
How high up do you ask Andy to fly?
Well, we can go quite high.
Oh,
You
yeah,
scared the living crap out of Eorica.
yeah.
The hell is that?
We'll get to that in a second.
We can go really high. We're just not in any way stealthy.
Yeah, of course not. It's a big rainbow.
We're both
golden...
wearing heavy armor.
Yeah. It's not stealthy at all. So you go flying off Eorica. You do suddenly get a Prosperous on a.
It's not very far, is it? It's not far away, is it?
Get that. But you see Prosperous and the unicorn and the Alicorn just go flying off next to you, right in after you finish that conversation with Lathander. Basically, sort of, it finishes off. Lathander fades away into the sun, and then
That's a bit bling, isn't it?
with Andy flying, you can scout out further ahead. This copse, you can't see like any obvious like marking or hole in the ground, and the trees are relatively tight knit. There is the lake, and there's the stream that comes out of the lake and goes into the rice paddies to the east. But you get a sort of view of the copse, but you can't see anything more than that. If it is there, it's overgrown to a point where it's not visible from the sky.
From the air.
No.
Then we'll just do some quick aerial maneuvers and then return.
What aerial maneuvers do you do?
No, whichever one Andy thinks are the most fun.
Okay, well, you'll do a barrel roll.
Obviously.
Yeah. And a loop-de-loop was requested, so I think there'll be a loop-de-loop as well. Andy's very good with Andy's wings.
I would probably ask as well what the most common ones for use in combat are, just so we can do like a tiny bit of practice of those before we land.
You have the stat block. You are welcome to do
Combat
whatever
training.
you please.
With an alicorn. I love it.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Meantime, in the house, what's everyone doing as they wake up in the morning? Viorka comes back downstairs, and Ephemera is just sitting in the corner, still singing nursery rhymes in an eerie way.
I am preparing a potion.
Oh, are you doing the cauldron?
Yeah, I am.
Ephemera's making another potion.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have Viorka coming over with a sort of, ooh, is that ooh, right, fine, okay, carry on.
You didn't use the last one I gave you, so you don't get another one until you finish.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'd hoped to. Thank you. I'm glad yes, cool.
Doesn't it only work for 24 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Muppet.
Sorry,
I did not realise this.
It hasn't been 24 hours. If you make another one, does it replace the old one? Evie, just check for me.
I don't know. Let me see.
Rules.
Yes, thank you very much. I completely forgot I had that. Luckily, I didn't need it, I don't think, but it probably would have been a good thing to give to somebody else.
No, only two player characters got knocked unconscious. You were fine.
No, it should stick around so that
I was beheaded.
Sorry, Evie.
Remind people of this. Sorry, Evie.
That's right. So it just says the potion lasts for 24 hours and loses magic if not consumed. So I assume it still exists.
Does it say how often you can make the potion?
It's after a long rest.
Oh, perfect. Then yeah, fine. You make a second one, and Viorka, yours will work until a point when I deem it so. It'll be a really crux moment. Don't worry.
Obviously.
No.
Oh, since we leveled up, my passives have gone up again.
Oh my god.
See through walls.
I did look at the observant feat for you and go, is it too...
If we didn't figure anything else out, that's exactly what I was going to do.
I have a passive insight now of 20.
Nice.
It's the highest it's ever been for me.
Back. What's yours, Michael?
26 with my D4, or my passive anyway, from my extra skill.
That's just showing off.
It really, yeah.
Do I notice that Viorka has got a bit of a skip in his step this morning?
With a passive insight of 26, you know every single thought Viorka's ever had.
What my opinion is on cheese.
It's not weird. Go ahead.
Today feels like a good day. This is very odd.
Mike, you wanted to react to that, please do.
I mean, you were here last night, right?
Yes.
You know, zombies with no heads and all that.
Oh, we've dealt with that kind of thing already. I don't mean I'm looking forward to this and I want anybody to die. I just feel better for a good night's sleep, I suppose.
Ah. What have you taken?
Taken?
Like, what did you find? Like the strong stuff? Like,
oh no. I think I just refound a bit of myself that I'd lost, and that was a good thing, I think.
Well, if you've lost something, I mean, sort of immediately almost as like a. If you refound something of yourself, that's quite. Yeah, it sounds like a positive thing. It's nice to see you a bit spring in your step, to be honest, mate.
Well, that's the thing. I came here on a bit of a whim. I may have found myself again. I thought I'd found myself out in the I'm going to stop talking about that. It's just pointless. Anyway, what are we doing today?
Ava, where are you during all of this?
Adoring Viorica. No, that's just Rebecca. I think giving Ephemera some space, because she's not quite sure what Ephemera wants, and she was quite firmly dismissed the night before. But keep close enough and keeping an eye that if any of these posh idiots are giving Ephemera, dark looks for cooking up some foul-smelling cauldron in their lovely dining hall, just being intimidating enough, near enough, that no one's going to come and give Ephemera any grief.
Well, sorry.
I think at one point someone does very much walk in with kind of a, would you mind doing the cooking? And then, never mind, just turns around and walks out again.
Oh, Lord. Oh. Yeah.
Getting soot burns on the books.
When you're watching Ephemera, she's just very much doing her own thing, but you just hear a little ribbit from behind you, and you see Felipe with a potion of greater healing just tied to him.
Me! Take Felipe, and more affectionately than probably ever before, give him a little pat and untie the potion and pop Felipe where he likes sitting, just on the collarbone. And I look at him.
A little shy look from Ephemera, like.
I look at Felipe and go, is Ephemera still in a bad mood? Shall we go and say good morning? And mosey on over.
How does Ava mosey?
I was going to say, I never just walk anywhere in a D&D game. There is always a weird, folksy verb.
I'm a weird, folksy perambulator. Good, right.
Yes.
As you're all having this conversation, where do you land with Andy? Yes.
Probably just at the back where we were.
In the. Oh, is he just not on the ground? So I thought you were going to be through the back of the building.
Maybe in the lake.
Awesome.
Sure.
Splash down.
Splash down.
Yeah.
Andy doesn't have a swim speed, so we'll very gently splash down.
Let's on the edge.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Right. If you all are looking, if you look out the window, you see Prosperous land on the back of an alicorn.
That is the ugliest horse I've ever seen.
I had one as a child.
I'm so sorry.
They bite.
Why is that ugly? I mean, it's a bit much, but it's not a problem, is it?
It's all radiant.
Well,
Rather stunning.
Give him a pat and head on in. Do you want anything to eat?
Should I stay outside? Is that a thing that horses do in this world?
On this occasion, I think you should probably stay outside.
That's okay. I'm very happy.
Unless
outside.
you want to go in and talk to the barrel tree.
There's a tree made of barrels?
There's a tree that's making barrels from itself.
Cool. No. I should really. I don't want to waste your time. Like, I'll just wait here. It's fine. There'll be other times. I'll just have some grass.
Walk in.
Prosperous, you walk in. Everyone is as described.
He's going to grab a massive plate of food.
Mm-hmm.
And
But all the food from last night is still there, and the chefs are bringing out more like breakfasty sort of cuisine.
Are there any sausage rolls?
Of course there are. It's one of our streams.
amazing.
And again, I'm a character that can't eat.
Oh,
Stop making undead characters, Amy.
Is that you can stack sausage rolls, you know, they pile well. And we'll just grab a plate and head over to everyone. Morning.
Hello. This steed, I suppose you have. That's very impressive.
Oh, Andy.
Andy?
Andy
Oh,
turned up.
Alfonso.
I was thinking Ambrosia.
This is... How... Did everyone else know about this?
Well,
No.
Prosperous is a holy warrior of Chauntea. Normally, if a holy warrior of any god, then a shining animal pops
No.
up at some point.
It is
Don't
fitting with your
generally-
aesthetic.
Use the term holy warrior. Anyway,
Why? You're a holy warrior.
it upsets people.
Who?
I can imagine it would upset some people.
Many people.
Don't you just smite those people? I thought that's sort of what shepherds do, from what I've picked up.
No.
Is it because you get holes poked in you from swords so often?
No.
But won't Chauntea mind if you're sort of not saying her name in
No.
case it upsets people?
No.
Your god is very strange. In a nice way, it's strange, just different from
Others.
what I thought.
Well, I mean, she's not Torm, but also paladins of Torm are like awful. Like, have you met them? They wander around like with massive shield with Torm on them, and they're like, I represent Torm with the Order of the Gauntlet.
That sounds more familiar, to be honest. Anyway, nice pony.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Oh, so it was a surprise. Why has everyone got names for this thing already?
Well,
We saw them fly down the window, and it's an alicorn. You have to pick a name and get in with an A. It doesn't
Well,
take
yeah,
very
no,
long.
it's-
Everyone knows that.
Well, gotcha. I have many things to learn, apparently.
I
Yeah,
hand. Oh, sorry, Mike.
You'll find that Prosperous stops surprising you after a couple of weeks. You get used to the
The
epicness.
the prosperous. I'm aware of that. Yes.
That nearly sounded like a backhanded compliment, but it was.
We're so in universe aware of this, aren't we? That's right.
I just hand Ephemera a sheet of paper.
Speaking of surprises,
It has on it the scratchy handwriting of someone who can write but writes very infrequently. And it says on it, "Who's asking? You don't know me. No one talks to you." And then the well, capital letters.
I would like to just hand it to the Oracle and say, this sounds like it would make an amazing song, so I think you should have this.
Eulogy, perhaps. I don't know.
Put it in G minor, and you're.
I think I'd be golden. All right. Well, I mean, do you want me to? What do I have to
So-
do this?
The barrel tree.
This is the barrel. Wow, the ballad of the barrel tree. I can see it works.
The
I
barrel.
thought you were going to take like plot relevant notes about the barrel. Says Ava.
Okay. The barrel tree can't remember anything beyond like the last sentence it just said.
Wow. That
However,
sounds like an incredibly tedious conversation that I sure hope didn't go on for too long.
However, I have found out where the well is, and we
Right.
can go there. We just will need to find it because it's hidden.
Fine.
Oh, if we get within 300 feet of it, that shouldn't be a problem.
I'm pretty sure we're already within 300 feet of it. That's correct, Chris, isn't it?
Really?
You don't know. They gave you a compass direction that way.
From where they are.
Yeah.
It also, plants can't die within next to the well.
Oh, well, that'll be useful.
But also,
Pick a bunch of flowers and start ripping them apart and see when they start.
I
I
feel
can
like
talk
that
to the
might
flowers and see if
react
they know anything as well.
badly. What?
What?
Sorry. Did you just say we should? What did you suggest that we should do to the plants?
We can ask the plants.
Oh, ask. Sorry, right. Misunderstood. Fine.
Chris,
You just
when I
talk to
was flying, did any of the plants look like older? Also, like
Massively
the
healthy.
barrel tree's really old, so I assume it must be near here.
You didn't notice any discernible difference specifically. What I will just give you all is that, for reasons, the radius of this effect that the well has is 3 miles.
3
Right.
miles.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why Goldenfields are so good at constantly delivering harvests.
Well,
So-
so yes, we have a direction,
Right.
and it's very overgrown. That's what I know. And the barrel tree, I think that's everything we're going to get out of them. To be honest, they are very old.
Fine. Should we just head in that direction then?
Yes, however, we should be very careful where we walk because it is a hole in the ground, and they did say that we could fall into it.
Fine.
We'll ask the plants directions, and then when we're getting close, I can ask nature what up, and pinpoint it, so we should be safe and sound.
And if worse comes to worse, I have a couple of ways to get people I like out of holes in the ground.
I
mean, I have a
Yes.
flying horse now, so
that's a good start.
Might not fit down a hole. Big
I'm,
horse.
I'm hopeful that it will.
Here, Emma, have this lovely new mount. Can it go down this thing? No! No.
No.
It'll fit. Right. So are you all going to head off in that demonstration? I will point out that time is somewhat of the essence.
Yes.
Having
yes.
a rest was important, and
Yes.
the fact that it's daytime is good for various reasons, because undead. But
Yeah.
We've started a new game and I've forgotten all of the stakes that we got to of last week. We're back on hey, roleplay!
All right, let's motor.
Yes.
As we walk then, can I grab ephemera?
sure.
Metaphorically rather than physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So last night did not seem the time to push it, but you sort of went, I know where I came from, we can stop looking, and then sort of went fuck off, and then, you know where you came from, are you okay, and do you want to talk about it?
So it was a big day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from here. I'm literally from here. My parents have a farmhouse, out there.
Hang on,
They're
you
still
know,
around.
you know where it is?
I do, but I'm not sure going there's the best idea. Rory already told them that what happened to me, I was sacrificed by the cult.
So Rory did know.
And then made the informed decision to forget and not investigate.
Yes, I remember I was eavesdropping.
Ah, yes. Thank you for eavesdropping. That saves me the trouble of
So
explaining
welcome.
everything.
It was a plot relevant decision.
Says Ava.
Of course. Having a devil in your head means you can break the fourth wall anytime you like.
Anytime you like.
But I'm okay. I'm just trying to move forward, but there was this thing in my head this last night, and I kind of absorbed it because it felt like the right thing to do. But I kind of want to know how it got there, and I don't have the full picture yet.
You're saying you had an outside entity take up room in your head, and you managed to absorb it and make its power your own.
Yes, I know it's very hard to wrap your head around. I'm not sure you've ever had the experience of having something else in your head, you know?
Oh, you are right, Ephemera. I couldn't possibly begin to understand what you've been through. I am here for you. I didn't mean to say that, you were a dick last night. I think that's sort of what I accidentally said. And it was just that, we have to work with these people, and he's got a stupid hat, but he looked like sort of a kicked puppy when you were finished. And puppies are better than people. And, it all just got a bit, I don't know.
These are better than people, that's true, but I don't know. I think I've got nothing to forgive per se. I just think that Foray is undeserving of the responsibility that he's got.
That's fair. If he did sort of let the whole cult murder, sacrifice, unhallow happen out of personal choice, I do sort of see your point.
Don't get me wrong, if he proves he's changed and he can actually step up, then I'm willing to give him his also very garish badge back.
I think it matters to him. I think it's like a comfort blanket or something.
It's his emotional support badge.
Can you work with him though? Because obviously, if I have to pick, I will obviously pick you, but I think what we're doing maybe matters, and maybe we do need to sort of kill the monsters in front of us rather than,
Oh, I'm not gonna try and kill him, don't worry.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna murder him at this time. Who's to say 10 years down the line what could happen? I mean, I could have died and come back alive again. Who knows? But for the moment, we need to focus on getting rid of the problem in front of us. If he needs a heal, I'll toss a heal, just not a very good one.
Well, and you forgive me for I got beheaded. I know I can't use that as an excuse for too much longer, but it was a lot.
Probably very concussed.
Yes, and that's why I was a bad friend.
You were not a bad friend for having your own thoughts and opinions that are outside of my own. Thank you.
They are mine, and mine is the only voice that speaks in my head. You are correct.
So lucky.
Would
We
you
should
like
catch up with the
to
others, we're
roll
lagging
an
behind.
insight check, Ephemera?
Oh, well, in that case, I'm rolling deception because I have outrageously high deception.
Fine.
Awesome.
Okay, well, I got a 25 on my insight.
I got a 29.
Oh,
Level
I rolled a
13.
19.
Yeah, level 13.
Layers.
Yeah, good.
Really
Right.
sorry for lying to you, Evie, but also I was a bit of a dick.
that's all right. I walked into it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Phrasing. Emma, are you Emma, are you riding Andy during all of this? Are you flying?
I'm gonna offer Flore a ride on Andy.
Oh, the phrasing. Sorry.
It's a horse, Ed. It's a horse.
That's some people's thing.
Let's move on.
God, yeah.
Would you introduce Andy to Flora then?
Yeah. Andy, this is Flore. Flore, this is Andy.
Hey,
Hey-oh.
that's a cool hat, by the way.
You can see like a little smile. Yeah.
Horse has no taste.
You know what? I need a little win today, to be honest.
Look, the horse has probably been up on the fields of Chauntea for like millennia.
Oh wow, they were right. You do not read the textbooks, do you? It's fine. You don't have to know.
Textbooks.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not important. I can
Don't
tell you
take
if you
this
want to
away
know.
from me.
If you
No, I
want to
don't
know.
want to know.
Don't
No.
take this away from me.
Right. I'm gonna sit in the front. Flore's gonna sit behind me. We're gonna just fly ahead. Above
He's gonna
in circle.
He's gonna do the back-to-back thing, and so he can still aim his pistol.
Oh, nice. Running shotgun on an alicorn.
What exactly are you gonna fire at?
Anything behind us?
I was thinking more that if we were up, you've got better perception than me, so you could look down.
That could work. I will.
And you're flying above the tree line.
Still shoot things.
Yeah, but not ahead, just like above the group that's walking.
Cool. Just so you're aware, this is in no way stealthy.
I'm sorry, Flore. I didn't ask for an alicorn that was like golden shiny. I'm not sad about it.
It's, let's be honest, pretty epic.
It was pretty epic.
Like, not entirely my style, but, you know, I'm just going to go with it for now. Seems like that kind of a day.
Cool. As you are flying just above the tree line,
Something comes and flies and kills you all. Yeah, carry on.
are you flying just above the tree line or do you want to go higher?
Orcus strikes you from above. Murders
Are you
all.
flying just above the tree line or do you want to go higher?
Well, I don't know. Whatever Andy thinks is more sensible.
What are you looking for exactly? I should fly quite low so you can see, but also the trees are quite dense.
All right. Any thoughts?
Whatever you need, buddy, I'm here to help. Bless you.
Depending on how you feel, can you sort of dance in between?
Oh, yeah. Of course I can.
Aerial maneuver.
Go for a bit of epic. Let's not Tarzan this, though.
Sure. I'll bounce in and out. Those of you walking, the three of you, can see up ahead every now and again an alicorn just sort of dipping between the trees as you walk forward. For a roll me a perception check.
Do I have disadvantage?
Can I help?
Wow.
Why do you have disadvantage?
Just because we were going quick and in and out. I was just
No.
checking.
You have advantage because Prosperous gave you advantage.
Yeah! Let's do this.
This is going to be massive.
Where is it? Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. 28.
28.
Looking up ahead through the trees, the trees in this copse, they are generally speaking what we would all recognize as a copse, like North European, firs, pines, that sort of thing, North American. As you move deeper into it, it does get slightly more hot and wet. That's right, Duck. So there is an element of it as you move slightly closer that feels almost a bit more rainforesty, and the canopy gets thicker, and you start to realize why it was so hard to see from above. As you move forward, can you roll me an investigation check, please?
That is 29.
Unbelievable. As you pass by one of the trees, you see its branch reach out to grab out at the alicorn and the two of you, so it doesn't get a surprise round. The other three of you will see up ahead, about 30 feet ahead of you, that a tree that the alicorn was flying past is now reaching out to grab it. There is no surprise round, we're going straight into initiative.
Oh, okay.
Shout them out.
17.
17.
12.
12.
22.
22.
9.
21. 9. Good.
Hands. Oh well.
Wow, not bad rolls from the others as well, but doesn't matter. Frory, you see this happen and you are going first. There's a tree that looks like it's reaching out towards, trying to grab all three of you.
I think insightful fighting will actually kind of good, because I don't want to attack straight away, because I feel like he'd be aware that Prosperous has some kind of connection with the trees, and he's not entirely sure if it's just protecting a place or if it's something evil. Like, he's gonna, so I'll use my insight check.
Fine.
My insight against a deception of the tree, I guess.
Oh, sure.
The deception of the tree.
Yes.
Nice.
That is...
Tree rolled a -2.
Wow.
Tree's not very charismatic, it's a tree.
That is a 33 insight.
This tree is definitely grabbing with aggressive, violent intent. You know that now for a fact. Your insightful fighting has also kicked in.
Brilliant.
It is not like, oh, hello, this is a tree going, yum. Like, it's definitely trying to reach out and grab things.
How high up from the ground are we currently?
Above a tree line in this kind of forest, I'm going to say 30 feet.
Cool. In fact, I'll stay on it. He'll say, Prosperous, I don't think this one's a nice tree. I'm just going to do a quick draw.
Sure.
I'll take a shot.
Do it.
It's 19 to hit.
Hits, yeah.
Brilliant. So that's
Shoot the tree.
standard damage.
Did you use your...
I used my insightful fighting to get my...
Yeah, it's an attack, yeah. And also, arguably, because it's reaching out to grab all of you, you're all in range of it, so you have allies in range. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Fantastical. Where's my sneak attack on? Because I'm being lazy and not doing it by hand. There we go. So we've got a disappointing 16 on the sneak attack
Show up.
dice. God.
Is your gun still doing fire damage?
Yes, correctly.
That's fine.
So we'll get that d6 out. That's 4 fire damage and 9 points of piercing damage.
Bang. Where do you shoot the tree? Doesn't have a face or eyes, it's a tree.
Just a straight shot at the limb, trying to blow it.
The limb that's reaching out and grasping for you. It's cool,
Yeah.
totally fine.
Then I will. How did bait and switch work on the back of a
Like a
horse?
horse? Yeah.
Are you doing it with the horse or with Prosperous? Phrasing, there it is.
Yeah, well,
The idea is to bait and switch the horse and give the horse a ridiculous AC to help us stay in the air.
Interesting.
In case the tree tries to attack the horse.
Do we think that it's valid? Because you have to sort of move to change places with it, arguably. But I think it's valid that you could be sort of spreading out and covering more of the horse, i.e., being more of a target than the horse itself. I'd allow that, I think.
You can slide. You do that thing with
Slide down the side.
trick riders do, and slide down over the side.
Yeah, that's great.
Exactly.
If we're all okay with that, I don't want to feel like we're being rules. But still, yeah, go for it. Make the switch with the horse. Why not? Why not?
Cool.
The world is your oyster.
Okay, the horse gets an extra 7 to its AC.
Okay, its AC is currently 24.
24.
Yes. Winning.
There you go. That should hopefully protect us
Wow.
in emergency.
A little bit.
That's my bonus action and extra beans. There we go. That's
Cool. Thank you very much. Excellent. Bang, bang. Ava, up ahead, you see that the horse is still curving and Froy's just fired at the branch that was reaching out towards them, which is splintered but not shattered. This tree up above is very clearly something weird is going on with it. Can you tell me what your passive perception is, please?
It is 18.
Cool. Take a wild guess what I'm checking.
Tree stealth?
Just a tree. I mean, you know that tree. You know that tree is tree is animate and attacking people.
Great. Just that tree.
Just that
Any
tree.
other trees? Just that tree.
Just that
Cool.
tree.
I'm in a shock horror, not going to use Eldritch Blast because boring. But I'm also not going to use any spells because Orcus. So I am going to cast Chill Touch and then use my braces to cast Chill Touch again.
Yep, that's fine. You reach out and what does your chill touch look like?
It's lovely. You know how her mage hand was like a dripping pond slime hand?
Yeah.
It's that.
Nice.
But because she's casting it twice too, so I think she holds her arms out and then spectral dripping arms detach and float over. And they will, if they hit, they will attach themselves to the tree, and wherever they touch, just rot.
Great.
Spreads.
Nice.
I have a plus 12, so I'm assuming the tree's AC is not enormously high.
No, it's a tree.
Oh, I thought that was a 1. It's not, it's a 7. So 1 is 19 and 1 is 24.
Both hit, yes.
Great. Damage 6d8. I will use the app. Doobie-doo, doobie, doobie-doo. 35 points of damage, please.
Crunch.
Loop.
Crunch. Tree is crunch, my hands.
And then as a free action, we'll go, that tree is misbehaving. How close am I to it at the moment?
You were all 30 feet away.
Great, I won't move then.
Right.
Except, as always in combat, just slightly in front of ephemera.
Fine. No problem.
I have twice as many hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now. No, that
Anyway.
wasn't threatening. That was,
So threatening.
that was meant to be the like.
I will become so powerful. You will not.
You go to wild shape into a giant mushroom.
Anyway,
That's the plan.
the tree is not... it's not that bad. The tree is going to try and grapple... Correct, Doug. The tree is going to try and grapple... I think the horse. I think it is the smart thing to do. It's going to keep trying to go for it. There's no reason that it wouldn't. Like,
Until.
would it go for the guy hanging off the side of the horse?
No.
Maybe. Would it go for the rider? No, it looks terrifying.
I don't look terrifying.
To a tree, you do. But I think.
With the sword that big? Yeah, like.
No, it's going to go for. It was going to go for the alicorn. I think it's going to go for the alicorn. It would be crazy not to, and we'll just see what the roll is. Right. Never mind. 13 total. But yes, the branch sort of
to hit, or do you need to roll a grapple?
to hit. It's to hit.
Okay.
If it hits, you are grappled. It's a really nasty
see.
one. But yes, it reaches out and the branch tries to wrap around, but Andy does the barrel roll you were talking about earlier. So Froy, you're hanging off the side and suddenly, you're also going in a way that you weren't expecting.
Righteous!
Sorry, we did some combat training earlier. That was... I should have warned you.
It's that thing we just say, yes, it's fine.
He's like hanging on the other
Yeah,
side, on the opposite side.
Holding stupid hat in place.
At which point a branch will strike out at... I'm going to roll a d6, it's a fair way to do it. 1, 2, 3... Ava!
Ooh.
One of the branches of a nearby tree that doesn't look like it's animate in the same way, just reaches down and smacks across your midriff.
Well, a different one.
It looks like all of them are connected.
Lovely.
That is a 25 to hit. There.
And now we're going to ask if I cast Mage Armor or not. That doesn't matter. Yeah, that hits.
Can we assume, for sake of reference, that you've always cast Mage Armor,
That
unless
was
you
what I was
specifically
hoping, but I
said that
didn't
you
want to
haven't?
fudge it.
No, it's absolutely fine. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage and are not grappled. This isn't the grappling one, that's closer. But yes, you are just smacked very hard by a tree branch.
1-5, right? Not 5-0.
Yeah, 1-5, not 5-0. It's a tree.
A mean tree.
Gorgon resurrected as a tree.
As this happens, around the tree, a sickly green radiance will start to seep out of it at various points, and the air around it becomes something.
Noxious.
Noxious. Good. Yeah, the three of you are in it, so it's going to go for Prosperous and the Alicorn.
Oh, okay.
Does a 22 hit you at the moment, Prosperous?
Me, yes.
Yeah. You take...
Sorry, what's happening? Because there was a sickly radiance and then some attack rolls. Like I thought it was going to be saving throws. What's actually happening, Chris?
The sickly
Stop
radiance.
narrating.
The sickly radiance forms these almost like pseudopod-style pieces and starts batting you around, a bit like an elemental.
Wow.
Yes, so that is. Do you do any sort of negating of poison damage in any way?
I can't be diseased.
That's a good start.
So no, good. That is 33 points of damage total.
Ouch.
Oh!
As these two rather heavy hits of this large creature, and its gaseous form is surrounding the three of you now as well.
Okay.
Rory will reduce that by 15.
Nice.
Out of I don't know, how would I intercept that?
Can we say that you shoot one of the pseudopods? It sort of puffs out and stops Gavin quite
You just see, it uses my reaction anyway, so I guess it'd be the same difference.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Cool.
Sort of just, from underneath, hanging from the horse.
Yes.
A bullet fly out and shoot one of them away.
Well, I would say that the barding probably has stirrups. You could be sort of hanging with one leg in the stirrups with both hands free if you really wanted. Though I wouldn't recommend it. That's how you break an ankle.
No, yes.
Good.
I'll
Right.
try
I
this
don't know
out.
if he's that cool. I really don't know if he's that cool.
Yes, he is. Go on.
Okay, fine. Right, Ephemera, it is your turn.
Cool. Having also made trees do similar things, do I know anything about what this
Oh, yeah.
could be?
Roll me, this is a free action, roll me I think religion's the closest match we have here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Excellent.
Nature.
So that is
It's not natural.
Oh, fine.
25.
I'm going to go a step further here. You recognize that this is not something you could do specifically, but it's definitely in your wheelhouse. So someone like you probably did it.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I'm so tempted to have the trees fight the trees. But
Tree fight! In the right corner,
We're about to fight
fir!
Orcus.
In the left corner, sycamore!
oh, that's so tempting. I will not do that though. So, but I don't want to take it out on the tree. The tree doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
No, this is, again, I'm going to get back to the point. This is a bad tree.
Okay.
No one likes this tree.
This tree is the worst tree.
Okay then.
It drops its
I
leaves
am
way too early.
Doesn't even take in carbon dioxide.
I am gonna kind of roll my eyes like another thing, another tree, as I get in touch with my mycelial network and cast Blight.
Nice. That's
Sure.
not going to be good for a tree.
No, it is not. Blight is very bad for plants.
Okay.
Because you do like, what is it,
So,
double damage on
it
plants?
must make. Sorry.
You do double damage on plants, don't you, for Blight?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And it needs to make a con saving throw though.
Oh, it is quite con heavy. Okay.
This could be hilarious.
19 on the con save?
Ah, just.
So
Yeah.
it would be half damage, but instead it's just full damage.
It's just
the
full
thing.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, well that is
Still good. I mean, it's not
It's still
80 odd
88.
points of damage, yeah, but it's probably about
Only
60.
16d8? Dear
Life.
God. Wow.
Lance,
Oh,
look,
wish that maybe I'll try it again and just blow the spell slot just to see what happens.
sod it.
Yeah.
Okay. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. 1, 2. It's 39 damage, please.
Nice.
Right. 39.
Wow.
Okay. How do you blight the tree and what does it look like?
So I step forward and a dark network of undergrowth comes into fruition around the tree and it just kind of spreads up around it and you can just kind of see the life and vitality being absolutely drained downwards into the earth.
Is your mycelial network looking different or is it the same?
It's looking significantly more shadowy at the second.
Cool.
Oh, righto.
A little bit more sinister.
A little bit more sinister. Good. Good. Right, yes, you drain the essence from this tree. Now, this tree has no mouth, so it cannot scream. Right. Prosperous, it is your turn, and therefore also Andy's turn, and you have all the stats. I will point out that the what this sort of poisonous cloud is clearly a different creature from the tree.
Poisonous cloud is a different creature from the tree.
Yeah.
I forgot the tree needs to make its con save at disadvantage.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
Gosh.
That's a
not
nat
dog is
20, so that's a
excited.
25.
Oh,
I think that's definite. I'm sorry. Oh, well,
Damn it.
they have to come sometimes. Right.
Cool. So I will pull my sword off my back.
As you pull your sword off your back, it glows and has a slight rainbow tinge to it as well, much very similar to Andy's wings.
For aesthetic reasons, I don't know what you're doing, but can it be golden instead of rainbow?
Yeah, it can be golden. It's golden with a rain. Okay, it's golden, but if light refracts off it, it's rainbow, a bit like oil.
Sure.
Yeah, great.
Sure.
awesome.
So there's a slight glow to it that you aren't recognizing. Talking's a free action.
Oh my God!
Remember, we're in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
There's a poison cloud around me.
Yeah.
There's a poison cloud around me.
Oh, actually, at the start of your turn, can you please? Thank you. Start of your turn, can you and Andy please both make me a con saving throw?
Oh no.
Con.
Con.
Well, mine is a 23.
Cool.
And hang on, Andy. What? Andy rolled a 10, and let me just see what they add.
You can use anything. It's fine. They're an indiscriminate horse.
10 add 7, so 17.
Cool. Neither of you are poisoned.
Andy can't be poisoned.
Never mind.
That's good.
Right. Oh my god, there's too many things going on here. Right. Well, we're about to go fight Orcus. I don't want to smite anything.
It's almost like I put this here.
Ridiculous. Right. I'm just gonna whack the poison cloud.
Do you not ask about what your sword? Okay.
No, we're in the middle of combat. I'm just gonna whack the poison cloud.
Fine. Absolutely fine. Go for it.
Take it on.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19 on the dice. Plus 12, that makes it a 31.
Dear Lord.
You hit the cloud. Hang on. What'd you roll on the sword?
19. Plus 12.
Your crit range is extended. The sword now crits on a 19 and a 20.
Now I feel like I should smite. I'm gonna
Up to you.
smite.
You do what you want.
Smite it.
It's your
Well,
life.
I'm gonna smite because then I get double the
Prosperous would
dice.
definitely smite it.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to roll a lot of things. Just bear with me.
That's fine.
I'll make
wait
the
to hear
strength
the total
saving
again.
throw I have to make on my turn as well when you hit. It's fine.
Oh, hang on. I need to roll 2 of those again. So that's
Past it, doesn't matter.
17. Did you just say there was a saving throw?
Yeah, if you hit something now, it takes a strength save or it falls prone.
27.
It's a big sword.
Yeah.
How does the tree
27.
fall prone?
40.
Oh no, it's not hit the cloud. We just
40.
float a little low.
Like
44.
Hit
Chris,
the ground.
Would it be dead on 44?
No, nowhere near.
Really?
In that case, I will smite at. I mean, it's a crit. Ah! I will smite at first level 44.
Yeah.
50. 63, and I get to roll another dice because I have the orcish thing.
Savage attack, yes. Well, they don't call it that.
63.
Yeah.
63.
Wow.
It's not quite down in 1.
Nice.
70. On a first level smite.
As I say, it's not quite down in 1, and it didn't fail its strength save. So,
Why is it rolling a strength save?
because you knock things prone now when you hit them, unless they roll a strength save. Because your sword is big and empowered and Holy Knight of Chauntea. Yes, smack. You hit the poisoned elemental across the. You strike out at it, and the sword, the glowing gold part of it, almost like creates a sort of slight trail behind it. And as you swing, it just carves straight through this thing that just sort of like almost wilts in the air. An unexpectedly heavy hit that it doesn't know what to do with, really. It's still around you because it didn't fail the strength save, but it is sort of.
I wasn't expecting that either, to be fair.
That was amazing.
I'm just gonna roll my second attack.
Sure.
I just rolled another 19.
Hooray! It's done. It's completely done.
Plus 12. The 51.
Roll your damage.
God.
You probably don't need to smite on this one.
No, I don't think you do.
Oh my god.
It's going to go up Orcus's hit points, excuse me.
I mean, I won't roll any more for the entire campaign.
Sure.
Promises.
Hang on.
Paladin maths is just. It should have gotten. It's not any easier or worse, it's just doubling everything.
One sec. 18. That's 24.
Because of
And
the
then
D&D Beyond
two of
Encounter
these.
Tracker, what happens now is I see sort of random numbers pop up every
Yeah.
couple of seconds as custom roll, custom roll, custom roll.
Yeah.
35. 45. One more.
It's already hit.
Yeah. At this point, you are literally flogging a dead elemental.
38. 48? 30.
48.
However many it was.
48.
Oh my god.
Splat. With 2 strikes of the sword back and forth, you bisect the cloud and basically tear it asunder. It just wisps away in one fell swoop. And, just gonna roll for Andy, hang on.
Sorry, you bitch slapped the cloud into oblivion.
I did.
I failed the roll as Andy. Yeah! Holy Knight of Chauntea! Sorry!
Shepherds!
Shepherds!
Yeah,
Shepherds!
Han's not coming back, is he?
Boom!
Oh no! Not again.
It feels bad to have Andy do something after that ridiculous turn.
Andy gets killed as much as you do. Yep.
But Andy's gonna whack the tree.
Go in and attack it hooves first, basically.
Hooves and horn.
If they're attacking horn first, there's a charge ability, I'm just saying.
Hang on, let me just roll 2 d20s. It's a 6 and a 13, both plus 7, so 13 and 20 non-natural.
20 non-natural. Yeah, one of those hits. Let's say the horns, you can do the charge, which is cool.
I don't know what that is. It's a new thing. New thing. Extra 2d8. It must make a strength. Can a tree be knocked prone?
I don't see.
Uprooted.
It can be uprooted, yeah. It's currently, currently it's been desiccated to a point of almost death already, so you know.
2d6, 2d8, plus 4.
I mean, I knowingly empowered you all, but that's a lot of hit points
was
in one
impressive,
round.
23.
No, it's not done. But and it makes a strength save of ludicrous 25.
No, it's. I wasn't expecting that we'd knock over a tree. That'd be ridiculous.
Your alicorn turns and does a very sharp turn in the air and can get 20 feet of movement out of a sharp turn in a line and will ram into the side of the tree and also has a hover speed so it can fly off. That's fine. Staying within combat range, so no attacks of opportunity while this happens. The tree sort of bends very heavily with this strike, and parts of the root and base system start to snap and crack as it starts to move back and forth, as if it's probably about to be felled. It's a hefty, hefty hit. Right.
Rory's just been wanged about.
Sorry.
He's so regretting staying on this.
This is such a good idea at the time!
Cross, I'm guessing that's the end of your turn.
I'm done.
Good.
I mean, I could do a bonus action, but why?
No.
The lights flashed in recognition.
That was
how-
it's a sign, don't do it.
Perfect. Well, in which case, as you annihilate this cloud and tree, Ephemera, make me a con saving throw. In fact, Ephemera, Ava, and Viorica, make me a con saving throw.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Against anything poisony?
no.
No, damn.
Oh, I'm in real trouble then.
Or poisony or necrotic or any of the things you lot are particularly good at.
16.
Oh, not bad.
13?
Well, that's pretty bad. 2, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not good on the Constitution.
From the side of you, out of the trees, checked against passives, a beam of radiant light will arc out and pass across and through all 3 of you as you are washed out in this golden beam of light.
Radiant.
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Okay, well,
I'm glad I stayed on the horse.
Join us for the second half to find out what that is and what's going on. See you in a sec. Bye.
Who's that? Bye.
And welcome back. So, a beam of radiant energy just burst out of the undergrowth and hit 3 of the party. The saving throws were, correct me if I'm wrong, a 16 for Ava, a 13 for Ephemera, and a 3 for Viorica.
No, it was 2, but thank you.
Oh, I'm so
Makes
sorry.
all the difference.
Yeah.
Cool. The 2 of you who failed, which is Ephemera and Viorica, because 16 was the DC, you both take... Sing dice. Terrible roll. You both take 16 points of radiant damage.
That was okay.
68. I rolled bad. 3 ones and a 2. But yes, 68 radiant damage. Ephemera, you only take 8, which you halve to 4 because you're resistant to radiant damage.
Yeah.
No, Ava.
Ava, sorry, Ava. Blah. Ava, you only take 4.
Yeah.
Randall, waste of time that was. But Ephemera and Viorica, you are also blinded.
Oh, nice. Okay.
As light sears your pupils.
I forgot about that part of it.
Oh, hang on. Undead and oozes have disadvantage on this saving throw. You've already failed. No, Ephemera doesn't count as undead technically.
No.
In-game rules, you are alive but not alive, but not undead technically. Doesn't matter. But yes, anyway, you are seared by this light. As Ephemera and Viorica both stumble, clearly unable to see, Ava, you can see, if you turn to your right, another of these druidic acolyte figures with the masks on is standing off to your right by about 15 feet, not far away. They were hiding, but is now visible, holding a mote of radiant energy in their hand.
The druid got away from the last fight, didn't they?
Yes, all 7 of them got away.
Same druid. Do I recognise them?
There were 7 of them. There were 8 of them in the last fight, and 7 of them got away.
Okay, I will just make an assumption it's one of them.
They do not have the ram skull with the horns curling down. The sort of, they do not have the big evil one. They just have a perfectly weird-looking skull headdress thing. Good. They will then run. They can't dash as bonus action, but they're going to start moving away, running in the direction that you were already heading.
Nice.
Oh, they're already there.
Yeah.
Right. Viorica, it's your turn. You can't see.
I think, I don't know if it's a throwback, but Viorica is going to cast invisibility and lie down. You can't see me, even if I can't see you.
Viorica vanishes from sight, and there's a faint as the leaves around where he was just go up in a little cloud.
Don't know what's gone wrong, but this is how I'm going to stay.
Rory, it is your turn.
Does he not get to say at the end of his turn?
I don't think so. Check.
Is it just for a minute or
until your next turn.
Oh, fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was a bit of a waste of a spell, but nevertheless.
Hang on, it's blinded until your next turn. Doesn't say start or finish.
I'd say that's start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until
your next turn, when it is your turn. In which case, you're blinded until. That's for attacks of opportunity. That's why. Yes. Right. So I apologise, Ed. You can rewind that around if you want to. You blink it away, and you can see this figure running away past the slowly decrepifying tree, and the sort of the cloud of poison that's just sort of hitting the ground.
It will be until their next turn.
Oh, until your next turn, you're as in
turn.
the caster. Yes, so you're invisible and down. That's fine.
Fine,
Yes.
okay.
I understand now. My apologies, I misread that completely. Cool. Then in which case, Floria, it is your turn. You're still on the back of the horse. You're still flying around the tree, hanging on for dear life.
So the direction, is that towards myself and Prosperous?
I would say that it is largely because you were walking in that direction, so it is probably skirting the edge of it, like a no, but needs to get past the tree and you two. 3.
And
Yes.
it's fairly dense, the trees right now.
I would say that the person from the height that you are at and the way that you're attacking has partial cover, yes. +2 to AC.
Cool. What if I jumped off the horse onto a tree and almost did some, like, ninja-y, skipping
Matrix.
along.
Yeah.
Roll me. I think this will take up something. Probably your bonus action.
Right.
Acrobatics check.
Hang on. What do you need? Do you need your bonus action? Is that why you're giving me that face?
Well, it was more because I would probably use one of my cunnings to stealth so I can sneak attack the druid.
Yeah, just bonus action steady aim, which just gives you advantage anyway.
I could. There you go. Tasha, thank you.
I mean, they've only got +2 to AC. It's only partial cover. It's not full cover.
Oh, the actual just to get that advantage. It's more for the sneak attack than anything.
Oh, I see. Then yeah, you're welcome to steady aim. That's perfectly fine. You're welcome to steady aim.
Yeah, that's a good
as you're leaning off the bat, you can just sort of lean out and desperately try and take a very carefully aimed shot. I'd allow that. Why not? Go for it.
I think I quite like him to jump off, and I want to get in melee with them.
Okay.
They want.
You're not a monk, so monk shit is off the table.
That's the problem. But if I'm using too much up, I will just shoot from where I am.
Okay,
it was more for effect than anything else.
Roll me an acrobatics check for free, just to get a sense right now what the vibe is. So, what I want to get.
Let the dice decide.
26.
God. I will say that you can bounce off tree branches, parkour your way down to land in front of them, because they're running past. We don't use maps. I would say that 30 feet is probably about right here. So to get down and in front of them and be in melee with them, I would allow that you can, but you'll take half the falling damage because you're doing it very quickly.
Yeah, that's fair. And
Grand. In which case, cool. I'll just
It's
roll.
very unsmooth. It's more of like a
Okay, so you only take 3 points of fall damage, it's fine. So as you go down, you do sort of twist your ankle slightly, you do scrape your side as you go, but you do land in front of the person, that's fine.
Yeah, and he will appear, sort of drop in front. I'll bonus action. He'll stab him first. He'll just pull his sword and literally, you let the momentum of them run straight into the sword.
Fine by me.
Instead of like stabbing.
Go for it.
If that'll do anything.
Absolutely.
An 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits definitely.
Brilliant. So let's get that's 7 points of slashing damage on a short sword.
Piercing.
To start off with, and then steady aim to negate. Oh no, I don't have disadvantage because I've got shooter.
Yes, you have crossbow expert, so you can already shoot as a bonus action. That's fine. Because steady aim would take up your bonus action, so you wouldn't be able to then do it. But you can just shoot. That's fine. You don't get advantage on it though, so there won't be a sneak attack.
No. Does the crossbow expert? It does take up my bonus action.
It does. Yes.
Well, there we go. So
Well, it's using 2 weapon fighting. It's basically you can use 2 weapon fighting with a crossbow / gun in your hand.
Well, that's a nat 20. So
Yeah.
Nice.
we'll do some.
Wow.
Crit.
Yeah. No sneak attack, I'm afraid, but you just have
No.
fire damage on top and everything else.
So that's 22 on
Get them all out now. We'll get all the crits out now before Orcus, and then
plus 2 points of fire damage.
24 points of damage. Yes, you land in front of them, they run into the sword, and then you sort of push them off the sword and shoot at the same time, blowing them back slightly with the impact, and you proper midsection hit them across the chest as they push back from you by about 5 feet. Rules. But yes, you have landed in front of them and stopped their running away. Ava.
Chris, do they need to make a con saving throw? Maybe 2 con saving throws for the mote of light they're holding in their hand.
So they do.
Good to have you on the team, Em.
Yeah, it's gone. The mote of radiant light in their hand fades.
Cool.
6th level spell slot burned. Good.
And it did 4 points of damage.
To you. Anyway, Ava, it is your turn. You are not blinded.
Yes. We're not even going to get... All I need to get spell slots back is a short rest, and that's still just not going to happen, is it? So let's keep burning cantrips. Not that you can burn cantrips.
Sure.
Using cantrips. And they're running away. And what do you do when a bad person runs away from you? You
Set
hit
fire to them.
You hit them. No, that's veracity. 6 Eldritch Blasts, please.
Go for it.
Thanks.
To the face.
Okay, dirty 20, 16,
Hits.
22,
Hits.
26,
Hits.
Been able to interrogate
another
this person. I don't
16,
think they're
and
going to survive.
29.
Yeah. They're all hitting. Yes.
They all hit. Okay, they're not hexed though, so it's not going to be that much damage.
Oh, shame.
So it's going to be 60, 10 plus 30.
Yeah, not much.
I didn't crit. I had 6 rolls and not 1 crit. That's terrible for me.
There's the line. I rolled too many times and didn't get a crit. That's my line here today, says Rebecca. Go on.
That is 37 on the 60, 10 plus 30, so 67 points of damage, please.
Do you want to use your new thing?
Yeah. Yeah, because that would be fun, because they're fleeing, and what do you do with a fleeing person? Except hit them with an Eldritch Blast, and then puppeteer them. So, for people who want to know what is happening, my grasp of Hadar has been pimped.
There's another phrase for them.
My graph of Hadar has been pimped.
Yes.
Pimp
So,
my grasp of
let me
Hadar, everyone.
Just check if I read up through me squealing about this ability to find out what this ability actually is. There's a lot of squealing. Spoopia, here we go. I will move them 10 feet towards us, please. Ideally dragging them through a lot of prickles and undergrowth.
This is less of a dragging. This is less of a yanking them back with the power of the Eldritch Blast. As you hit them, their limbs sort of twist awkwardly and they stagger back, sort of like they're walking backwards with no intention of forward. The look of fear and confusion and what the hell is happening is invisible to you because they're wearing a mask.
I will get them to pivot 180 and then just be there like.
Does the druid being pulled away from me trigger my reaction at all?
I'm afraid it doesn't. It's force movement.
So,
Damn it.
And then I get to burn their reaction, right?
You do get to burn their reaction.
I don't know how that works, but I do that.
You can make them make an attack. You can make them do anything on their stat sheet that takes an attack as a reaction. Sorry, any of their action block you can make them do.
Jump.
Can I make them do a little dance?
Yeah.
I have Dance Macabre, and I don't think we're ever going to use it. So instead, I am going to ask druid person to do a little reaction dance.
Amazing.
They're
Well,
going
now-
to do a Fortnite dance.
No, I think they're going to dab.
That is a Fortnite dance.
Oh no, is that the same?
That's what made dabs popular, I
And I work
believe.
with teenagers. I should know this. Well, then
Okay.
they don't. In that case, they're going to do a little bit of Kaylee dancing by themselves. It's lonely and sad.
You are currently puppeteering a corpse.
I like that even better.
You did enough damage to it. 67 was enough to take it down. Take it down.
You just become Weekend at Bernie's.
And there is a corpse having a little Kaylee dance with itself.
Which will then collapse in a heap to the floor and just, yeah. Well, that was fucking grim. Good. Right.
Thank you for my new ability, Chris.
It is the tree's turn. It can't run away. It's a tree. It's gonna. It's gonna grab. I think the only thing it can sensibly do is try and grab. I think it makes sense to try and grab the Alakung because that grabs everybody. Yeah. It's going to reach out with another grasping root and try and grab hold of all of you. 25 to hit.
Yes, that would hit.
Cool. There is no damage. The vines just reach out from the tree and the various branches reach out and just wrap around Andy. There's an oh shucks, and suddenly you're all three of you bound up and the horse is grappled. You two are not.
2. Rory's not on the horse.
Oh, Fro's off the horse. Well, in this case, the horse is grappled. You are not prosperous, but you are on a stationary object at this point in time. And then I get to make that attack with advantage, so I shall. Yeah, it's another 25 to hit. And the branches will constrict. There's an extra one on that. 21 points of damage.
To Andy.
To Andy. crunch as it all crunches in a little bit.
Leave my horse alone.
Ow! Ow! Good. Right. That is its turn. It can't move, so that is it's a move to 0.
Burn my reaction to quick draw because I guess I'm still in 30 feet.
You are, yes.
And I have insightful on it. Not that.
Is this another attack?
Yeah. He can.
Good lord.
He can fire as a reaction.
Gotcha.
26 to hit.
Yeah, it's a tree.
Awesome.
It's a slowly necrotizing, unhappy tree. I can't.
It's not much. Not long for this world.
No.
I can't roll high on sneak attack today. We've got another 16 on the
Got
sneak
12
attack.
hit points, Mike.
16 on the sneak attack.
Yeah.
5 on fire.
As you quick draw around and shoot the tree, you shoot it around the base of the tree, and the whole thing just starts turning and collapsing. The vines do release, and Andy, and you are freed, Prosperous, as it collapses to the ground, and it's just a felled tree. Just hits the ground
Before
with a
he
heavy impact.
turns to shoot, he definitely stares at the dead druid for maybe that second too long, then turns and sort of goes, almost shakes himself and goes, shit,
No problem.
and then turns and does the quick draw.
Nice.
Oh, we're out of initiative, folks.
Cool.
Ava, I can't see.
You can now.
Oh,
Oh, I can now.
But 6 seconds.
you're welcome.
That blink lasted way too long.
Yes, you weren't doing that yesterday.
Blinking?
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that that's a thing that people do. I'm quite enjoying it. Look.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to interrupt this beautiful moment the two of you are having, but I'm guessing that we're on the right track, and they're probably already at the well. So shall we carry on?
There is a body right there.
Who is that?
Do I recognise
Go
them?
over and
Yeah.
pull the
If
mask
you
off.
go over and pull the mask off, it is again one of the locals, one of the acolytes of Chauntea that you are aware of, Prosperous. Ephemera, roll me a... This is an interesting one. I think this one is probably a religion check again.
Religion. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
Okay. Looking at the body and thinking about what happened to you this morning, last night, this person is not reborn. This person is not like you. But they have a lot of very similar abilities to you. You might start piecing together something about this if you wanted to, and I can give you more direct information if you like, but I will leave that hanging unless you want me to be specific.
Yes, because I'm not sure what you're driving at.
It looks like they're tapping into a similar thing that you tap into. Their abilities coming from a similar place that you tap into, but they appear to have refined the process. You no longer need to die to get them.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
That
Was
thing
I
in your
Guinea pig.
yeah, because that thing in your head, then you might have just sort of
Do it in character, people. Do it in character.
Sorry. Well, this was the thing, actually. Viorica, if people are now away from the body, was it still, whilst invisible, is going to go up and go through its pockets.
As you're all looking at the body, and if suddenly its coat just.
Yeah. A little bit of that. Investigation, I assume?
Yes, please.
Keeps going behind the thing. Oh.
Flory will just be like, but maybe check over.
Yeah,
Advantage!
There's usually
Advantage!
like secret pockets in places like that in my.
You don't even need to do that, because I've just rolled a 1. I think, to be honest, I catch my hand in something and go, ow!
Oh, it's all right. Re-roll it. I'll take it. It's cool.
What do you mean?
Re-roll it now.
What?
Oh!
Mike's new feet.
Ah.
You can just make ones go away.
I don't think they go away, but yes, okay. Yeah, I roll a natural 1.
Does it? Well, I'm not. Yeah. With the idea of it, you would then re-roll, I'd assume.
Is that right?
Pick the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike can take a natural one away from any of you. Mike, you remember the subtext of what we talked about and how long it... Yeah, okay, just making sure you're aware because we're out of combat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to try not... I mean, if you have to take it away from you, that's...
I'm going to have to.
Yeah. Because I feel like cheatsy doodling it and then just randomly slashing my sword to try use it would be a bit unfair way to use it, so...
I'm sorry, Odin's, for clarity. Mike has an adapted feat based on Halfling's Bountiful Luck. He can negate a 1 from anyone in the party, but then has to make one of his rolls be a 1 within a minute, or I get to choose what the roll is at any point.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'll have time.
Your call, my friend. I'll make a note. I've got a saved 1.
We can do some acrobatic... no. Yeah, so the reroll was a 13.
Going through the pockets, they, as you noted from the last time, they don't tend to have, like, grand plans written up on scrolls. It is the accoutrements of someone who lives and works in a farm and in a field. Like, it is not like a huge amount of, like, Orcus is here kind of stuff. With a 13, yeah, that's all you get.
Cool. In which case, yeah, I will leave what's there, and sort of, if the eyes are open, I wish to close them.
That's fine.
And yes, I will carry on whilst maintaining invisibility, at least until it runs out. I can't remember how long it lasts.
Do you tell everyone that you're there?
Not yet. Just see when someone notices.
I think I've guessed. Go along with it.
That's the thing. If ever like perfectly aware that I'm there but just isn't saying anything, that's kind of perfect.
What is your passive stealth? I.e., if you aren't trying to stealth, what is your passive stealth?
Oh, well, +4. Do you mean?
So it's 14. So +5 from it's the 19 is the current stealth roll effectively by not stealthing and just being invisible.
Cool.
Why does he get a +5?
Because advantage when you're invisible. So I think Froy knows where Viorica is.
Yep.
And if Froy's not trying to be stealthy, I imagine most of you hear footsteps and are aware that an invisible thing is around somewhere because that's the rules of the game. But yeah.
That's fine.
Cool.
I have a question.
I have answer. I hope I have answer. That was said very categorically. I don't know. Let's say I do. Go on.
Are these one of the people that killed me?
Oh, you can remember now. Yes, they are.
Ava? This is, They killed me. Well, they're one of the people. Can you make them do another dance? A really embarrassing one.
I can, but it burns a third of my ability to cast spells.
Never mind.
Let's see what I can do.
Oh dear.
Oh, no, hang on. This is at this point. Then Viorica goes over to it and raises him up and starts doing a puppet dance.
Oh, 'cause you're invisible. Yeah.
So it's just happening, and he is
Okay. Revenge is fantastic. At a time when the world is not in jeopardy, maybe?
It's taking a minute.
The corpse slumps, but then comes back up again.
I will cantrip lightning lure at it and just whip it with some lightning. 6 seconds.
If this one killed you, who knows which other ones at the well also were involved?
That is manipulative and bait, and I'm going to take it. Let's go.
Corpse collapses.
Are you all...
Viorica?
Good, right.
Are you all going to just continue where you were going? Are you going at some haste, or are you trying to be stealthy about it, considering that they clearly know that you're coming or can try and find a way to catch onto your path?
It seems like ambushes have been half prepared. Maybe we should be a little bit more careful if we can.
I'm fine.
Can I neck a potion and you can't see anything happen, I just drink something.
Sure.
And B, cast Pass Without Trace.
Of course you can.
Nice.
Yeah.
Andy and I have between ourselves healed Andy back to full hit points.
Using...
Andy has an ability that heals, and I have used some lay on hands.
Cool. Fine, baby. Right. Yes. Unicorns can heal themselves. Cool.
Alicorns.
I am going to drink my potion from Ephemera to get back up to health as well.
You know what? I may as well do the same thing, because it presumably hasn't run out yet.
And I'm going to cast bark skin on myself, just in case.
Cool.
Get a sense we know where this
Like,
thing's
no,
going.
the two
don't we?
concentration ones. No bark skin.
Is barks in concentration? Yeah, then you can't do both. I'm sorry.
I have not put the potion in my inventory. What's the
Greater,
dice
so
for
it's 44 plus 4.
44 plus 4? Thank you.
While you're all doing that. So, are you all rolling stealth checks as well, or are you just taking passives? What would you like to do moving forward?
I think I'm keen to roll a stealth check.
Okay.
I will roll, yeah.
That's
We've
fine
got
by me.
past that race, right?
You got past that, Trace, yeah?
I feel like at this point, Chris, you may as well take that one.
For your stealth check? No, I'm good. I'm saving it.
Okay.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, I'll have that one too. Why not?
Okay.
So we've got a.
Oh, wow. This is sort of like a karmic point
25
build up.
for me.
22 total then. Thanks for it.
22 total. You add 10 for the pass of that, Trace.
Yes, I got a 10 plus 2 plus 12 plus another 10.
Cool. 22.
Yeah.
Oh,
got
I got-
21.
I
21.
got 22.
22.
44.
44.
44?
40.
I rolled a 19 on the dice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wow.
What did you roll?
That is ungodly.
I have never. I don't think
25.
I've ever seen a 40. That's amazing.
Did you roll for Andy as well?
Oh no. Oh god. Andy has to roll a disadvantage.
Yep, wearing barding.
Oh no.
Could it be that he lets out a long, slow fart?
Horse farts are terrible. I'm not going to
Exactly.
subject you to that.
No, Ed, that's not it.
Fair enough.
So Alicorns don't fart. They cough.
21.
21. Wow. Very nice. Cool. So
Just puffs rose petals.
the average roll is already ludicrously high because of the 44, but all of you are 40. That might be the highest roll I've ever had in a game. Intriguing.
Amazing.
The highest roll I've ever.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You are all very, very hard to see and probably avoid some other encounters, potentially, maybe. Who knows? We'll never know. As you make your way through the wood and move forward, as it starts to get more sort of hot and rainforesty, the ground beneath your feet starts to become more overgrown, vines, that sort of thing, less of the sort of classic forest floor and dead leaves. Mike, your passive perception is 23?
22.
22.
My passive investigation is 23.
Thank you. You'd still notice this. As you all make your way forward, Fura, you notice it first. That one of the trees, as you pass it, has been carved. Not obviously, it's very subtle. But it has been carved similar to the Sacred Grove of Chauntea in a way that makes it look almost like it has a body and a face. Looking, you've got a very high perception, so I'll just give you this. It looks like a creature, somewhat. Definitely something that's quadrupedal, that's rearing up. But it's so subtle that if you weren't looking for it or weren't very, very observant, you wouldn't notice.
Does anybody have any knowledge of the Orcus creepy crawlies or anything like that? And he's like, and he sort of frames it in his hand. Have to sort of bring people's eyes to it, almost focusing.
If you stand in the right place, it's almost like multiple
Yeah.
branches come together to create this shape, but it's not obvious unless you're really looking for
The sort of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
look through that. I'm not sure what that is, but maybe one of you might know what it is.
If it's a religion check, can I have a go?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
You
there?
like some mumbling help in the background?
Yeah, I'm also proficient in religion, so I wouldn't mind having a crack at it.
You're more than
And do you
welcome
want help or?
Well,
No,
that
is
was a
fine.
good start, but I'm very happy to have help if it means I get to roll again.
Roll again.
33. I think that's the biggest I've ever rolled.
Wow. Ed, are you aware what a Kyrene is?
No. Wow.
Kyrene are angelic celestial creatures. They look a bit like lions. They sanctify spaces. They are one of the holiest creatures in the multiverse, and this shape appears to look like one.
Wow. The Orica... I'm presuming invisibility is a concentration spell. What is it that breaks it?
Oh, attacking or it's taking an attack or casting a spell.
Oh, fine. Well, in which case, no, it doesn't break them. But it just goes, wow, that is very beautiful. That's... Sorry, I am here. I'm just looking at this... what did you say they were?
Kyrene.
And it's a Kyrene. Why would they do that?
Now that you're all looking, and from where you're standing, there are carved Kyrene figures all around this space. Again, subtle. If you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't see it. Needing 2 or 3 trees looked at from the right angle to make up the right shape. It's deathly quiet around here. You can hear some natural noises like wind through trees and some birds chirping, but otherwise nothing. They appear to be all around this space.
They're everywhere. Is this a problem?
It's not nice.
I don't like being surrounded by these.
How old are they? Could I...
Sure.
Do they look like recent or...
Investigation check.
No, you don't need to. They're ancient. They're carved into the trees themselves, and the trees have kept growing a bit, so in some places that's where they're slightly warped and mottled.
I imagine that these, if this well, from sort of the information Prosperous has told us, this is probably a good indication that we're either very close or here.
If it was where one of these creatures lived, potentially that's why it's so holy
Yes.
and so
Right.
important.
I would like to get onto the ground and cast Commune with Nature.
Nice.
Okay. What does Commune with Nature tell you?
It does. Hang on, I'm just trying to find it again.
It's like Wikipedia, but for plants.
You instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about the following subjects as they relate to the area.
Sure.
Terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, materials, animals, people, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead, influence from other planes of existence, and buildings.
Wow.
Which 3 would you like to know?
I would like to have influences of other planes, powerful celestial, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead, and terrains and bodies of water.
Nice.
As you touch the ground and your mycelial network spreads out from it and you start reading this space, the ground underneath the roots you are currently standing on is not ground at all. You are standing on top of an interwoven root network, but there is no ground beneath you. There is water, but it's a long way down. The ping you probably get is something to the tune of 300 feet straight down. There is a strong celestial presence all the way down at the bottom. And you still get the sense of the ground around you. This whole space, including this space, is still unhallowed.
Are there influences of other planes of existence?
I think Thingy would ping as celestial as well. Andy.
Andy would... Sorry? Oh, Andy pings a celestial too. Yeah, Andy is also celestial. No. I mean, yeah, for that matter, Prosperous has a certain celestial overtone as well. Yeah, like there's aside from the party is what I'm going to say. Aside from the party. In terms of influence from other planes, you do get the the unhallowing is influence from the abyss. This whole area has been abyssalled. You also get a very strong abyssal presence ping, but it's not straight down. It's in the ground, underneath the ground, but doesn't appear to be in this shaft.
Okay. So the mushrooms have been talking to me, and there's water straight down with a celestial presence right at its center.
That's
We're
it.
still in unheld territory, very abyssal. I know it's abysmal,
Good.
but we might have found the well.
And the celestial presence is good, isn't it? That means,
In theory, I think so.
well, at least it's not evil.
I mean,
that
well,
remains to be seen.
tread carefully with Celestials. They have whims.
Very well.
I can sometimes be cruel, callous, and basically evil.
I mean, that's a little
Very
harsh, but I'm not going to
funny.
disagree with you.
But sometimes.
I have
Everyone
bad
has
days.
Everyone has the capacity to be. Generally, tread carefully.
What would you like
So-
to do?
Shall we go down?
I think we should.
How?
I have Featherfall, if that would help.
I have a large sword.
And large steed.
You're going to literally cut the ground and the roots out in like a cartoon.
Well, it's one option.
True.
I could sort of prise them open.
Could we ask them to get out of the way?
If you all, now that you're aware, sort of like do a little. It's
Yeah.
definitely a little bit springy, but there is give.
We could jump real hard.
Just get the alicorn to charge Andy, just to get him to charge into the earth.
Does it? Can I make an investigation check to see if this is like? There's a way of literally like it's got some latches and it'll just like there's some rope to lift.
Like, it doesn't have latches. No roll required. It doesn't have latches.
That would be
Something that could
amazing
possibly
evolution.
mean that we could just pull it open.
I think with the commune with nature, I will give you this as a party. The root network that's grown over the top of it, that wasn't intentional. Like, this
No,
is
right.
an interwoven root network that has grown over the top because all plants near Kyrene's lair grow very, very well, and they've just interwoven with each other and grown over time.
So you're opposed to me chopping it?
Seems harsh on the trees, is all.
Aye, but time and
But hang on. Also,
trees.
if we didn't sense where evil is, we're not.
We did sense where evil is. It's down.
Well, I can...
Oh, it is down
I
as
can-
well. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Fine.
There's good and evil.
It's not the awful, horrible, extraplanar, evil, fiendish thing was down, but off to the side, not directly down the well.
Sorry. Right. That's the yes. Gotcha.
Someone thought the cave networks would be a better idea. I'm just saying.
Very well.
Any quick solutions, or shall I just give it an old chop?
I
You
think
know what? I'm going to cast Speak with Plants and speak to a tree.
this is yeah.
Oh ho!
I took the spell. I'm going to use it at least once.
Fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. Do you want to talk to one of the interwoven tree roots? Do you want to talk to one of the? I'm going to call them Kyrene trees. What do you want to talk to?
Well, I assume that all the trees are in the interwoven.
They are.
network.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go with a Kyrene Twee. Kyrene Twee.
Kyrene Twee.
I
Talk about
can't
Kyrene
say
Twee.
it.
You head over to one of the trees, and how do you cast Speak with Plants? What is your process?
I kind of lay a hand on the tree and kind of moss comes out from where it is, and the moss kind of goes into a little bit of a face.
Oh, you give it a face, if you will.
I give it a face.
It's dope.
Mm. That was very teenage. Well done.
Dope.
Yeah, I haven't said that in 15 years.
Exactly.
Down with all of the kids.
No.
The moss sort of moves around a bit.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I've been better. My friends and I were trying to get to the well down below.
Yes, the
But,
well.
you know, there's a bit of an issue with the roots. Have you got anything you can give us in tips-wise? I mean, you've been here for a very long time, I'm sure.
Well, we're protecting it.
Ah, but see, we also want to protect it. We believe someone bad is going down there.
Oh, no.
I know, it's terrible.
I'll talk to the others and see if we can help you. Are you really here to help?
I promise we are. We've got a holy person and their horse behind us.
Oh.
Yeah, they're very impressive.
By wandering around with the sword.
And we've got
And Andy's probably doing like a ooh, it's like a trampoline.
and we've got an invisible bard who's very good.
Can't
And
see them.
no, you can't, but they're there and they're being delightful. And we've got Ava, she's my best friend. And she's so beautiful when she does her magic. You should really see her. And we've got someone else as well, but they're just kind of there.
Bit harsh on the last person, but okay. Well, I'll talk to the others and see if we can help you find a way in. I'm sorry we couldn't protect it. We tried.
It's okay, you did your best.
All right.
The moss will fall back into your hand, and the roots under your feet will slowly start to pull themselves out of the way.
Seems to be working.
Problem solved.
Well done.
In the center of this space, a gap is starting to form where the roots are unwinding to a point where they can actually let light in. And how big a hole do you need? Actually, you didn't talk to Tree about that, and the spell stopped. So they're just going to keep going. The hole is slowly widening. It's now about 5 by 5. It will slowly get bigger. Do you look inside?
Definitely.
Underneath here is a step well. A step well, for those who don't know what a step well is a water well, same as you'd experience anywhere else, but it has steps carved into the side of it. This one is octagonal, and at each side, 2 sets of stairs will go down the side next to it, and will then form a platform where they are joined by 2 other stairs that go down.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a way of creating an almost perfect well shape with beautiful geometric patterns around the outside, and there are steps. These steps look very old and crumbly. The stone is carved beautifully. Symbology of Chauntea you've seen before. It is similar. There are almost like small, not quite gargoyles, but pieces on the side that look like the same sort of natural imagery of rearing animals and mostly farmyard animals of some kind or another, and wheat and intergrowing natural products and plants that seem to go down. There's a very, very faint golden light glowing from the bottom. You can see that this well does go down, about 300 feet. It's a very, very long way down. You cannot see the bottom. There don't appear to be any sort of tunnels or corridors. It all appears to be the side of this space. What would you like to do?
Pull a torch out of my little backpack and light it up.
Ooh,
Look at everybody else.
Do we need to... okay.
Are you going to walk down the sides? Are you going to featherfall jump? Are you going to fly? What's the plan?
I'm not wasting a spell slot on the fly, so unless someone else casts something, I'm walking down the stairs.
I'm gonna fly, but not like massively ahead of everyone else.
Sure, that's fine.
I'll go down the stairs as well if we have a big march.
It's about a 50-foot diameter, so there's enough space for the alicorn to fly and to take the time and to hover down slowly if necessary.
Cool. Should we split which sides we're on?
The stairway is barely wide enough in each case for one person. They are, let's not kid ourselves, they are precarious as all hell. So,
but is it a
you'd
bit
have
too... Sorry.
You could all sort of go down at the same time on different walkways to be at sort of similar heights, or you could be in a marching order and going in single file. It's up to you how you want to do this.
That's what I'm thinking. Do we want to split up and be on different sides? Or do we want to...
buddying up at least, because then if someone does slip or fall, at least one of us can grab the other as we go.
Okay. So if Ava and Ephemera go together?
Ava heads off.
Yes.
She wants the wand.
Yes.
We go.
Okay.
I've got your back.
I move so fast.
Cool.
What did Fro just say?
I've got you back. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you can't even see it, but thank you very much.
Are you going to sort of keep sort of flying, hovering at about the same height as everyone as they're walking? Is that the plan?
Will it do like slide up and down?
Uh-huh.
But I don't want to get like massively far ahead because I can go 90 feet, but I don't want to because then like, oh look, there's one thing at the bottom to fire at for 3 combat rounds while everyone else gets very bored.
Yeah. Okay. You all start to make your way down. The 4 people walking, can you all make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Okay.
Can I be hovering near 2 of them?
Because of the size of this and because of how your flying works, I will say that because your speed is so high, we will cross that bridge if we need to, Em. It's not necessarily hovering near the person who might fall.
I mean, I to give 5 2.
Oh, I see. What's the range on that?
10 feet.
Who would you fly near them? Because if they're walking down different sides, that is...
Well, odds, evens.
Oh.
On this occasion, Evie and Ephemera and Ava.
Right, so you're hovering near Ephemera and Ava. Great, you get to roll.
Well, I'm flying around, so I'm just like, on this occasion, I happen to be on that side.
Oh,
that's fine. So that means they get to add what to their dex save?
5.
5, lovely.
Great.
Could have used that technically, but I got a 15.
No, you're fine.
24.
You're fine too.
Nice.
Evie? Evie, what'd you get? I didn't hear you.
16.
Oh, that's...
No, you're fine. Mike, what'd you roll?
26.
No, you didn't.
Let's fall down the well.
No, you didn't. You rolled a 1.
Yeah. Okay.
As you are stepping down the side of this well, you note that these stairs, they are so old that they have crumbled away at the sides in places, so you probably have to sort of put your back to the wall to be in any kind of sense of safe walking. And some of them have been smoothed to the point where they are almost an inclined plane. This is clearly incredibly old and hasn't really been walked on or walked in for a while. So also there's a thick coating of, well, detritus and dust across them as well, dead leaves and things like that have fallen in over time. So it is extremely precarious as you go down. Viorica, Fura is behind you. From behind you, you hear a shuffle, a grunt. What would you like to do?
Well, attempt to swing around and save him.
How?
Well, grabbing out. So
Grabbing out?
Grapple?
Yeah, give me an athletics check. It's not a grapple, but give me an athletics check.
Well, yes. Athletics. Ooh,
You chose it.
I know. Oh, that's a 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, that didn't help.
You reach out to grab Fure and just miss, and Fure, you tumble and start to fall.
How far off the ground are you?
You've probably walked down about 15 feet, not even that. Are you diving?
Yeah.
Okay. Chase rules.
I fly 90 feet, can dash
180.
Yep. Bodies fall at 500 feet around in D&D rules. So, chase rules apply. Can you both roll me a d20? Just a flat d20. Just get the ball rolling.
Would you like to...
natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20, so...
What is wrong with this party? This is amazing.
2 crits.
Fine. Yeah.
But I probably shouldn't tell you this. You do still have a 1.
Yeah.
No, I'm not using it for that. I'm saving it for a death save. You both Furore falls and Prosperous dives. Andy dives across on the back, and you both go down incredibly quickly. All three of the rest of you just see them vanish down into the darkness. You have no idea what's going on. Furore, as you fall, you can see. You both rolled 20s. I can't ignore that.
Something epic.
Both of you are falling, and you can see next to you that the alicorn is diving very, very close to you with Prosperous nearby. You are now traveling at the same pace. What would you like to do?
Try and grab him.
Right, athletics check.
Yoink.
Yeah.
Are you also trying to grab Mike?
Yeah.
With advantage,
sort of
Prosperous, or either both roll separately or with advantage, Prosperous. I don't mind.
I'll roll. I'll roll, Mike. I'll roll.
Yes.
Strength of 8.
22.
Oh.
Cool. You can grab hold of Furore's arm and pull him onto Andy as you're falling, and Andy will banking in a tight space though. Roll me a acrobatics check for Andy.
Oh god.
You should be good at that.
Oh god. It's a natural 20.
Yay! This is ludicrous.
It's all on the tracker. You can see it.
I'm not doubting it.
No doubt. No. Dice rolls are dice rolls. It is what it is.
I would be a hypocrite to doubt you, but that's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he pulls up very, very sharply, but very carefully, using his weight, his body weight, to pull his wings out and make them basically work like a parasail as a buffer. And you just glide around in a very arcing curve, almost like walking along the side of the walls of this well as you curl around and can come to a hover point. You can see the surface of the waters about 50 feet beneath you. So that will happen very quickly. The others are about, 200 feet above you.
We are too close to the bottom.
Please come back
Yes.
Too close to the bottom.
quickly.
The bottom of the surface of the water, it looks like water. It doesn't have a huge amount of movement to it because it's a long way underground, doesn't appear to have any water flow in or out. It looks clean, which seems peculiar. You'd expect it to be a lot dirtier. And there's this strange glowing golden energy emanating from what looks like below it, but you can't really tell at this point. Furore, you have an incredible passive perception, so I'm going to give you this while it's happening. As you fell, there are places in the sides of this well where there are rents and cracks in the wall. It's very old. What would all of you like to do?
Well, for first, you're probably like out of breath, going back. Never doubted you for a second. Yes. You always
Glad you didn't.
Hey, thanks. I don't doubt myself either. Wasted emotion, you know. Gotta stay positive.
Hey, Andy.
Makes me want to go edgelord again.
Let's not do that again.
I want to do it again. That was super cool.
It was really cool.
Sorry, is this your moment?
Yeah,
I've definitely pulled my back though. Just
getting a bit old for all this.
You're in your Prosperous's early 30s. Do not say things. I'm getting too old for this.
in adventuring years, probably.
Do we just stay here and try to stay unnoticed, or are we going to try and go back up?
I feel like going back up. I don't want to panic the rest of them, thinking that we've just fallen to our deaths.
What are the three of you doing at the top while they're talking?
Down
about
the
this?
stairs.
Yeah,
Carefully.
heading down the stairs as fast as possible.
Carefully, though.
Well, yes.
I'm not going on a helter-skelter sprint down some death stairs. If you're already dead, you're already dead. If you're not, you're not. Running's not going to help that.
Ephemera's not too fast. So.
Bjorka is quite fast and is going to try and go down, but try and be,
I trusted you, Bjork.
I tried!
You didn't cast Featherfall, though, did you?
Oh.
This is a gentle reminder that you have Featherfall, Ed, and all three of you could jump and Featherfall down. Just saying.
Actually, well, so in which case you're going to get a hiss out from the other side. Listen, we can all follow them down if I cast Featherfall.
But are you going to cast Featherfall?
Yes, I can do it right now.
Oh, okay.
that sounds like fun. And I jump before you have a chance.
Right! Ping, ping, ping. It's the sword cane, and it's the like
Well,
no, it's the thing of I don't know if I can do it anymore, but like the I can't do it, but like the owl's hoot thing towards everybody, and that's how the spell works itself.
As all three of you leap off and are buoyed by the Orcus magic, all three of you
I want to touch the water, though.
start floating down. You are going down at a rate of 60 feet around, so you will be rejoining the others. Are you making your way back up?
yes, but I'm concerned. So we're going much more slowly.
How slowly is much more slowly?
At a speed that will be considered stealthy. So that's the 45 feet around.
Oh, that's slow, yeah. Cool, 45 feet around. Are you rolling a stealth check?
Yes.
Glowing, radiant Pegasus unicorn.
Hey, look, it can be stealthy.
Can be.
Totally.
Can make it more
Do
of
we
a
still
sizable
have
shimmer.
Cast Without Trace, Chris?
It's only within. It's not a thing that you cast and then forget about. You have to be in range of the person who is constantly. So no.
Well, mine's a 14.
Okay.
35 Fury. As I rolled a crit again.
Good Lord.
Andy gets I think it's something like a 6.
Damn.
It's a golden shimmer. Bless you.
It is a 6.
Yeah.
There's a clanking from the barding. He's very shiny.
This is so pretty. You guys go to some amazing places. I can't wait. All the things we're going to see and do. Oh, sorry. All the things we're going to see and do.
Gonna kill your horse.
So you're making your way up 4 feet around the
I
meeting.
can just re-summon them.
They don't die. That's why they're so feckless. Good, right. Okay. As you are feather falling down, all three of you have dark vision, so you can see the area around you. And as you are flying up. Okay. Those of you that are falling, are you...
I like it when Chris does that.
No.
It means bad things are about to happen.
Can I just, Chris, I'm on very high alert for any potential glimmer of combat to activate my sword
Sure.
before the combat starts.
Yeah, I will cast Form of Dread as soon as anything happens. I've got that prepped if you can prep a necrotic pond face.
If you can prep a necrotic pond face, another t-shirt.
I would like to get another potion out of my bag and just kind of hold it. Just ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Orc is enjoying the ride. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Like,
course he
just
is.
going,
Composing a poem to
Yes.
Lysander.
Oh, Lathander, we're in a well. Cool. So,
Some of us are looking at the stars.
Going to fight a demon from hell. I won't.
is anyone rolling a perception check, or are you
Yes.
running on the back of passives?
I'm not. Yeah. I'm
Perception check because
Please
we're falling
do.
down a well towards a demon lord.
Please. You think it's... You don't know. You don't know.
19.
We know it might be Orcus. Also 19.
19. Very well.
Still enjoying the ride.
I rolled a 7. I think I'm quite distracted by Andy.
Mike?
Actually, I don't have dark vision, so I imagine mine would be... Oh, I've got my torch, but that's still...
Do you think you held onto your torch through all of that? You ain't got a torch. There is no torch. There was a faint bloop into the water, and it's gone.
If I spot that, Ava will do something selfless for the first time in a long time and use the light cantrip. And
As you're falling, so you're still a long way away. But yes.
I mean,
how
with my,
far's the range?
with my
60 feet.
modifier...
Oh, it's touch, so no, I won't. Sorry, mate.
I was going to be selfless, and then I couldn't be bothered.
Well, fair
to be
enough.
fair,
I couldn't physically touch you, and
Wasn't
also
it pointless?
there.
Yeah.
with my modifiers, disadvantage doesn't hurt me too much unless I just can't see. It's up to Chris.
I will say you roll with disadvantage on this. I'm rolling something else. Go on.
Cool. So we've got a disadvantage, a 22.
Oh, I'm good. Right. As the three of you are slow falling down, Viorica, what level spell is Featherfall?
Knew it.
From one of the rents in the wall, you see a faint casting of magic. You don't know what it is, and the three of you that are falling suddenly...
How far off the ground are we?
You are falling... You're falling several hundred feet, but you fall that in 6 seconds. I would allow... Give me some idea of what you want to do, and we'll see if we can make it work. But you are currently falling down directly towards the other three.
Maybe casting flight on myself. No, it's 5th level, so I can do all three of us if I can reach them in time. It's touch.
Interesting. Hold that thought. Anything else the other two of you are thinking?
Oh.
I can make myself into a gas.
We could all do that. Oh, I see. Okay. Interesting. Ed, any thoughts particularly on what you want to do?
Hang on, I'm just looking at the... Yeah, so I'm visible again, which does mean I could be caught. That would be good. But otherwise, I could cast Featherfall again, but I feel like it's just going to be... Yes, so I'm going to try and cast Featherfall again.
Okay.
And see if I can get at least over to one side.
Okay. Featherfall, the two things that you want to do are actions, so they would take longer than Featherfall, which is a reaction. So I would allow you to cast Featherfall again on all three of you.
Sweet.
Amazing.
But...
Yes.
You will fall past the other three. So anything the three of you want to do as these three, yay, go down straight past you.
Did we see the momentary increase in speed?
I think
Is it clear there's been interference?
As you moved up, I think you probably would have seen, because magic doesn't, you can't cast magic quietly unless you have specific feats and functions, which you don't. Out of a crack in the wall, there was a magical sparkle, and then the three shapes that were above you, because there's much more light above you than anywhere else, accelerated down towards you, yes.
Well, in that case, I'm going to light up the sword.
Awesome.
Which means that Mike can now see everything.
Yeah,
and
the whole area glows. As you light the space up, the carvings down here appear to be in better condition. The ones by the surface took a lot more surface damage, if you will, whereas the ones down here appear to have not been quite so badly affected. So your sword creates these beautiful shadow effects across all of them. They almost look lifelike. You also see there are glints of precious minerals or gems embedded in them to make them look lifelike and like they are moving in the light. It's hauntingly beautiful.
Can I see any other people aside from the person who presumably just fired off that spell?
As you light up the sword, what's the range on that?
30 feet of bright light, 30 feet of dim light, I believe. Let me just check.
Cool.
Sorry.
What I will say to make our lives easier in what could be a very complicated combat environment otherwise, you and Frore have moved up to about 100 feet above the surface of the water, and you are now lighting up enough of this to see that in the various cracks in the wall that have formed over time, there are figures.
Sorry, 20 and 20.
Ooh, it's 50-foot diameter. You can just about see,
we're not necessarily right in the middle, so...
No, I understand. You can just about see shadowy figures moving out of various cracks in the walls.
Okay.
And I'll make it as vague as that for now, but you can choose what you do with that information.
Are any of them obviously holding a long, pointy stick?
Yeah, I'm also interested in this information.
You would obviously be able to see that because shadows, clearly, if one is holding a long pointy stick, would have a different shadow than someone who's not holding a long pointy stick.
The wand of Orcus is not a long pointy stick, it is a small wand.
Is anyone holding a small wand?
Fair.
Still a pointy stick.
Is someone specifically holding a stick? I think that needs a perception check.
I mean, they're druids. They're not generally holding pointy sticks, are they?
Got
I know, but...
Can I roll as well? Because Ava is on high alert for the small pointy stick.
Can I use my passive?
Yeah, it's it.
Oh, in that case, my passive is 18.
15?
You can see many. No one is obviously like going, "Ha ha!" brandishing one in front of them.
Evie's ephemera scrying, which we all got to see, we saw which one had the wand stuck in their belt.
Yeah.
There is not much light in here, and with the light from the sword, even with dark vision, there are currently shadowy figures coming out of cracks in the wall. No one's like standing up and going, "I'm here!" And no one's doing that. There are shadowy figures stepping out from the walls, from the various cracks and around this space. They made their way through by other means and are on the outskirts of this.
Do any of them clearly look like they're in charge?
No.
Right. In that case, I'm gonna head towards the biggest clump of them.
Okay.
Wherever the biggest clump of them are.
I think that means we're going to enter initiative, Em.
Shocking. How horrifying. Look at my sad expression.
Cool. Rory, that means you're also entering initiative because you're on the back of the horse.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
The three that are falling. I don't want to be cruel about this because we're entering initiative. If Viorica uses Featherfall, I will allow that the Featherfall catches you and that you can try and move to the sides so you are still within 60 feet of the situation above you. Does that make sense?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand. Then that is what we will do. At the start of initiative, a Featherfall has been cast and you've once again managed to slow your descent and you are able to get to the sides and hang on for dear life. These steps down here appear to be less problematic, i.e. no dex save necessarily required, but be cautious, they are very slippery. But down here looks to be, and again, you have this sort of beautiful light around all of you in this situation.
Is it okay? I said it earlier, as soon as we got hit with a dispel, that's when Ava's form of dread clicked into it.
That's fine.
It takes an action, and that takes a lot of combat. Great.
Yeah, I'm not going to... No, waste your first round. No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
same with the sword. It's just so, it takes up so much time.
It's very boring. I'm very happy to have the two of you do that. Yes, Amy.
Thanks.
Does
Hadn't he-
drinking a potion count as a full action?
Normally it does, but because I'm allowing Form of Dread to happen, I think you can swig it as you land. That's fine.
I will also swig my potion.
What do you need me to do now?
I don't need you to do anything.
Oh, good. Okay, what does it do? Oh, is it a surprise?
Hang on, I'll get the name of it. Hang on, I'm just scrolling.
Gigantor.
It's a potion of invulnerability.
Oh,
Do.
Cool. How long does it last for?
Hours.
Minute.
Okay.
Good. Right.
See what we're up against.
Okay. That is the situation we are in as we enter initiative with... This is going to be fine. Cool. Everyone roll me initiative, please.
Here we go. Oh, for pity's sake. Well, 13.
17.
13 and 17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
So dirty. 14. I'm really excited. Can you tell?
14. Mike?
I've got another 17.
17.
Do that then.
Mike would go before me. My dex is +0.
Yeah, I'll just doctor your initiative, make my life easier. Thank you. Right. Ava, with your non-natural 20, you are 60 feet below these figures above you. The surface of the water is only 40 feet below you, and you can see it beneath you. It does, again, not a huge amount of movement on it. It's starting to move a little bit more now. And there's this strange gold light emanating from what looks like underneath the surface.
Cool. I want to consistently be keeping my eyes out for the wand of Orcus.
Yep. Don't worry, that'll become obvious very quickly.
Great. I'm in my form of dread.
Yes.
So anyone I hit has to make a wisdom saving throw or it's frightened.
Right.
Sorry, we rolled initiative quite quickly and I haven't quite planned what I want to.
Quite all right. This is going to... We're on the sides of a stepwell. There's the wand of Orcus somewhere. There's a flying horse. I think on a certain level, it's going to be complicated.
Yeah.
Well, these shadowy figures, how close are they together, Chris?
They've moved out of 3 different cracks in the wall, so there are 3 clumps.
Could one theoretically fit them within a 60-foot, all of them within a 60-foot sphere?
60 foot, yes.
A 60-foot sphere, yes, but you'd also hit the... You'd hit the alicorn and the 2 people on it.
We're 60 feet below them.
But then
60-foot sphere.
Can I put it... Because the alicorn and Prosperous and Frory,
Yes.
they are slightly below the cultists.
So we're moving up towards... I tell you what, you can hit 2 of the clumps. I'll allow that.
I'll take it, because otherwise I can never use the spell.
Yeah, I know. The toughest thing about that spell is where to use it, because it's such a massive radius.
And this is the closest we're ever going to get to an army in this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. It's
Nice.
6th level spell. I am casting Circle of Death. Finally.
Circle of Death.
Circle of Death. What they got to roll?
They have to roll a con DC 20 save.
Dear Lord.
Con DC 20 save.
It might be quite conny though.
They're the acolytes. They're not going to be.
Yeah, but they're evil, culty, Orcusy people.
Okay, I'm rolling 4. There
They're
are
not going to be intelligent.
6 of them, so I'm rolling for 4.
What Orcus has done to them.
Oh, fair enough.
I will still take 4. That is very generous of not hitting any of the party.
There we go. 2 of them pass, 2 of them fail.
Great, so that is 8d6 damage to, well, the 2 that failed and then half.
40. So just roll it in half, that's fine.
Yeah, that's 34 points of damage to both the 2 that failed.
Yep.
And so 17 each to the 2 who succeeded.
That is fine.
Yeah, that adds up to over 100. That's all right.
Yes, I love it. What does it look like? What's the visual here?
Oh, I've never done this before because I was going to and then realised I would kill my party last game.
Yes.
That did not happen.
60-foot sphere and everything in it. I mean.
Yeah.
Ooh, so it's a sphere of negative energy that ripples out. So, she's already pulled her face off to get Dawn of Dread.
Like in Face Off.
Yeah, of course.
1
And I think this time it just, because before it sort of sagged but didn't go, I think this time it just comes off. And then she just sort of very, again, lackadaisically almost, or just sort of sends it out, wafts it, and it just sort of, like a heat-seeking missile, sort of hunts for people and then latches on and then spreads as it lands.
Wow. Okay, that's grim as all hell. Good, right.
Good work. Good
I
work.
approve.
A bonus action. Oh, hang on. And every single person I hit has to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 18 or it's frightened of me.
That makes sense.
That's
That's what you
entirely
just did.
fair.
I am scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Very
I've got a lot of different things to roll.
Phew.
Bless you.
Thank you.
3 of them fail.
Great. They're all very scared.
That means they can't get willingly closer to you. Have disadvantage if they can see you.
Dooby-doo. I don't know what happens if they're frightened.
Yeah,
It
that
just says
sounds
frightened.
exactly
Great.
right.
Lovely. And
I just looked at what they can see. They ain't got dark vision. They can't see.
Wow. Oh, amazing.
anyway,
That coming out of the dark at you, though, would be a terrifying
Something
sight.
out of the dark has scared the bejesus out of them, but they're just looking around, like not quite sure what's going on, but they've taken a lot of damage. That's great.
and then Chris, I don't know how you want to rule this because Hex is a bonus action spell.
Yes.
Now, normally Circle of Death is a spell, but for me it's a
Mystic Arcanum.
Mystic Arcanum. Does that mean I cast it or I just use it? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Exactly what the.
It's exactly why we're here.
Yeah.
If it helps on D&D Beyond, my spells say cast, and then this one says use. But
I think that's generally because you have one use of it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Like I have a fighter who has spell, and when I have like one use of it, it's use.
I really hope it means it doesn't cast.
A spell is always a spell. It doesn't matter who's casting it, what's casting it, where it is, or how it was learned. It's a spell.
Then I don't think I have a bonus action because I'm already in my form of. I could have just used my form of dread then and done something else with my held action. Never mind. I use my bonus action to pick a worm out of my eyeball and eat it.
Sure.
Add in the frightened.
They're already frightened. Good, right.
Fenrir is delighted.
Yeah.
I do it for you, darling.
Good. Right. Okay. Now I need to work out what I'm doing.
Everyone.
All of them go next.
Oh,
All
lovely.
of them go next. Oh,
Let's hope they don't attack the only person who hurt them. They obviously didn't do that.
No.
Most of them can't see you.
Excellent. Excellent.
One of them
They
can.
sure can see me though.
You're on a glowing unicorn.
Beacon.
The horse isn't glowing. The sword is glowing.
I think the horse probably glows a little bit.
One thing, it's another, yeah.
Right. Yep. Good. Yep. Yep. That is what we'll do.
Oh dear.
I look forward to these.
Not split them up to make this more interesting.
No.
Oh, why not?
One big wave of energy at a time.
Good. The druids on the side who are on their way down. Yeah. Why would they not? They're gonna jump
Jump where?
into the water.
Does that mean they've got the wand?
Yeah.
So they're trying to get it into the water.
Yeah.
Do they jump past me?
You move towards one of the clumps, which is what initiated initiative. So I will say that 2 of them are going to jump past you. But yeah, all 6 are just going to dive past all of
Can
you.
I spot which one has the wand and try and grab them?
I'm not sure you can spot which one has the wand. You can try and grab for one of the 2 that are jumping past you.
I mean, I shall, because if they have the wand, but can we roll off to see if it is the one that has the wand?
Yes.
Because I can see now it's all lit up.
Yeah, they're just not. No one's taking it and going, ha ha, they are purposefully doing this. This is exactly for means like this.
Can't target just one of them. It makes
Exactly. Can you, first of all, make me an athletics check to try and grab one of them as they go? We'll do it as a contested grapple. It's the safest thing to do here.
A natural 20 for 31.
How many? That's a 16. Cool. As the 2 near you, all 6 of them are just leaping off the side towards the water. You grab hold of one of them as they go, which you very clearly do. Roll me a d6.
Oh, God. Oh, come on. You can do it.
It's a 1.
You grab hold of one of them as all of them jump. As you grab hold of them, the figure that you grabbed looks up at you, and in the voice that you have now seen in the scrying vision goes,
Not even you can stop me.
I've only used movement.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievable. Nat 20 and rolling the 1. Unbelievable. Just fucking unbelievable. Cool, right.
Amazing.
What am I going to do? Got all my actions, and I'm a fucking demon lord.
Oh, God, I'm going to die.
Okay.
Roro, you may die now.
Come on,
Now's the time.
As well. Bro's just like,
I mean, it's kismet. I really like it, but still.
Yeah.
Can I just? Sorry, it's taken me a moment to process that.
I know, me too.
In response to Orcus, can I just say, I did say, just watch.
Very good.
Wow.
Yeah. Of all the things to not be good at, dealing with grapples is one. Unbelievable. Okay, right. Just strolling through a deck, desperately trying to find something that'll work, and that's a waste of time. I don't know how many hit points you have. I do know how many hit points your horse has.
No, don't kill my horse. Orcus wouldn't know how many hit points my horse has. You know.
No, but Orcus has power word kill.
Please don't power word kill my Pegasus.
Does he?
I'm going to roll for it. It's the only fair thing to do. No, he doesn't. He will cast Finger of Death on you instead.
Oh my God, what do I need to do?
Roll a
What's happening?
Constitution saving throw.
This is where I roll a 1. 14.
No, DC's 23. Right.
This is a demon lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's prosperous. Prosperous can't die.
No, that's very true.
You take
Or the fourth
73 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh. Okay.
You told me not to take Finger of Death.
Correct. Would waste of time against Orcus, wouldn't it?
True.
Necrotic energy pours out of the hand that you've grabbed hold of and just covers you, and it's just overwhelming amounts of damage. It's an awful feeling. But you still fucking hang on, don't you?
I've still got 48 hit points.
Amazing.
Okay.
As Orcus does that as well, just from behind Prosperous's head, you just see a gun pop up.
Do it, by
Nice.
all means. Do it. Go for
Do
it.
it. The first damage, hopefully.
22 to hit.
Yeah, hits, absolutely.
I can't remember how beefy. Right. And
Oh, I'm just to be clear, this is a large, bloated, undead ram-faced thing is not holding onto Prosperous's hand right now. This is a humanoid druid.
Oh,
just been possessed.
right.
I cannot have 15 on my sneak attack.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe.
Sneak attack's so bad tonight. 2 points of fire damage, as I didn't state that I've changed it.
That's fine.
And then 7 points of piercing damage from the actual gun.
Cool. We can ignore the fire damage, so that's 22 points of damage.
The pistol just appears from above, behind.
Fine. I think all four of you are now in this kind of slightly weird, like, and he's there going, "What's going on?" Everyone's sort of weirdly spiraling around the top of this well at this point. Not top, the midpoint of this well. Unbelievable. The other druids have all leapt down quite a long way, but they didn't think this would happen.
Nobody thought this would happen.
No, I didn't think this would happen. Okay, good. Right. Well, they've all leapt down, and they're a long way away, and they know there are people quite close to the water that don't really know what's going on. So anything that would do anything like that is bad. I think I'm going to say that the rest of the druids that have jumped down are currently not aware of this fully happening yet, because they've jumped quite a long way down. They can't see that far. They do not have dark vision, so they don't.
Water.
Yeah, they don't really understand that all of them are currently in the water. You saw 5 of them hit the water. Yeah, that's where we are right now. Cool.
We hear, obviously, Orcus coming out of the one Prosperous is holding.
I think it's fair to say that Orcus's voice carries. Flore, it is your turn.
Oh, yeah. So I guess I'll poke my head up. Mike's forgotten. Did the druid have any? Did the druid have the wand or anything like that on them?
You haven't seen it yet. They're not like, again, they're not brandishing it. They're not, like, if they have it on them, you don't know where it is. You could try and pat them down.
Just like pop, like stay behind Prosperous, but like
Pop the arms
pop my
out.
arm through and search in pockets.
That's surely a disadvantage. I mean, really.
Rules as writ, there is no way to do that. However, I think it's funny. So can you roll me a investigation check with disadvantage, please?
Sleight of hand, surely.
This isn't to get, this is to find.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Then I've got to figure out how to get it.
That is a different conversation entirely.
Okay. 25. 12 on the dice for disadvantage.
Reaching out, you sort of fossick around this person's corpus, trying to find the wand, and in doing so, their robe slips open slightly, and you can see the wand is hanging off a belt loop. Just it was tucked away. So you now, all of you can see where it... Actually, those of you lower down can just about see there's something hanging on a bell loop. Ava, I think with your flea-bitten determination, you can see it.
Excellent. Thank you.
But yes, it is there. It is there now. I'm going to say
I'm
that...
imagining a kind of Yzma thing of I bet you weren't expecting.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, I think that's fair. An Yzma kind of thing is a perfectly valid way of thinking of this, I think, yes.
What did I use up with my investigation? Was that a full action to do the...
What else do you want to do?
Well, yoink it, so...
2 skill checks
It's going to be awful.
Kind of want you to take it.
If you don't take it, I'm going to.
We'll roll for it.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Well, Prosperous is straight after me, boy, so...
Roll me a sleight of hand.
But if it could be the next turn, could you help, therefore? Okay.
13. Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand isn't very good.
You reach out to grab it and try and pull it off, but the whole body wrenches away, again flying, so gravity's a bit weird, and refuses to have it removed.
From your ear, Emma, you Prosperous. It's right there. It's right there.
I know, I can see it.
Give me a minute.
At the end of your
reactions.
turn. Yeah. The figure will pull the wand off the belt, and Prosperous will strike you with it.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
You don't have any hit points left.
48, it's not bad.
Not many.
Understood.
More than half of my hit points.
Well,
It's just upsetting.
36 to hit you.
Yeah, 36?
It is polite to ask. I understand, but it is polite to ask, not just go, I hit
36?
you. .45 points of bludgeoning and necrotic damage.
Let
I
me.
still have 3.
I just got my reaction back, so I might as well just reduce that a bit.
Sure.
cool.
I reduced that by 11.
Thank you.
That'll do.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you're
still
all
have
just...
14?
You are all just flailing around, and the wand comes off the belt and strikes you, probably across the face. And the wand, it has been made smaller, but it is a skull and attached to a spine. And as it moves, it does sort of like slightly move with it as it goes, and as it strikes you across, the skull on the end does sort of glint, and there's a slight as it goes.
If I try and take it, is it also sleight of hand, or now it's off? Can I yoink it with strength?
Sleight of hand is a very specific thing, which is more of a sort of trying to fossick something. You're a very strong paladin. You probably just want to grab it and yank it off them, right?
Yoink.
Not really, but I mean, if I have to, I'm very concerned that I'm going to yoink it and then die immediately, but...
Roll me an athletics check.
That wasn't no.
No.
I feel like I should maybe just try and kill them, but how healthy do they look?
Hard to tell. They're wearing a full mask.
Yeah, I'll try and yoink it. No, 13.
I mean, I have to roll. $12.
Wow.
Kidding. I rolled a 2.
In many ways, this creature is Orcus. In many ways, it is not. This is one of the ways in which it is not.
Oh God, I don't want it. I really don't want it.
You really don't want
I
it.
really don't want it.
If only there was someone here who could help
But
you with that.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to yoink it and then I'm going to drop the druid.
Oh, I thought you were going to drop the wand. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. Cool. You basically grab the druid's arm, grab the wand, pull it off them and drop them as they fall towards the water. And Prosper says, you hold the wand of Orcus in your hand.
Extremely reluctantly.
That's where we'll pick up next time.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, amazing. Oh, okay.
Ooh,
I hate it.
you really will.
Taking hold of it. Oh, amazing.
I mean, I'm quite tempted to just immediately chuck it to someone
Give it to me.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, if you'd like.
Pass the parcels, the hot potato.
Give it to me, give it to me. Cool. Well, friends, what a cliffhanger. I can't believe today.
That was ridiculous.
Oh my god.
So many criticals, so many
Dice, my god. Anyway, thank you, everyone. So we definitely overrun. Sorry for dragging on a bit long there, but we needed to find a good pause point, and I think that was it. I thought Fro was going to get it and pause there, but yeah.
No.
Wow, that's
I try.
no, it's just wow, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this remarkable adventure that we're all having. I must save my nut one for Fro. Cool.
And maybe more for me.
Yeah, let's see.
If you enjoyed tonight, the finale's next week, and oh my god, it's a lot is going to happen. So join us next week for the grand finale of The Reaping of Goldenfields, which we are currently at the very end of. And tomorrow, I believe, yes, tomorrow is our first Christmas one-shot. It's Christmas Panto. What a time shift.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes. Rebecca,
Oh, no,
Ed.
it isn't.
Rebecca,
I
Ed,
had to.
Rebecca, Ed, you're both in it, aren't you? It's called The Way
Yes.
the Cookie Crumbles, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Any spoilers?
It's remarkably silly. And
There's so much glitter.
So much glitter.
Amazing.
So much glitter.
Excellent.
Anyway, Sean Smith is DMing that, so join them tomorrow for The Way the Cookie Crumbles, and we'll do the grand finale next week, and then it's Christmas one-shots until the new year, so more on that when we can tell you more on that. Right, all of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. They get archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find podcast versions on most podcast providers. Just search for Roll-Together-RPG. Massive thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. That's the lovely Hero Forge, Elderwood Academy, Ultra Pro, D&D Beyond, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. You're all amazing. Thank you so much. And a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. Do join them. Say hello. They're lovely people, and being with them is just the best, and thank you all so much for letting us do this. I'm a bit shut up. We're on socials as Roll Together RPG. Do join us there, and thank you. See you all next week. Bye-bye.